So we are live now.
Okay. So hello everyone.
Just wait.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So hello everyone and welcome to today's national webinar, Hangout with Entrepreneurs, organized by MHRD IILM Innovation Cell in collaboration with Center of Entrepreneurship, Development and Innovation. I, Dr. Asta Sharma, Organizing Secretary, on behalf of IILM Engineering, welcomes Galaxy of Intellectuals, Your Excellency, Shri Ajay Pratap Singh, Senior Director, IILM Engineering, Dr. Josna Singh, Director, IILM Engineering, are invited expert speakers, HODs of all departments, faculty members, and dear participants. Thank you for taking time out and being here today. The universe is entering into the age of the entrepreneurship, where starting a business and creating a niche in the complexities of the market is not an easy task. Success comes to those who have the flair to convert every challenge into an opportunity. Being an entrepreneur in this digital world can come with successive wave of challenges and risks, which can surely abate the journey. To help you in your entrepreneurship journey, we have invited renowned speakers for today's national webinar. They will provide motivating insights about their entrepreneur journey and will discuss enriching ideas on various topics such as roadmap for establishing successful startups, entrepreneur mindset, role of incubation centers, funding opportunities, and many more. Entrepreneurship is a pioneering force that connects the world societies, and experience of a seasoned entrepreneur is precious. Learning from the experiences and implementing it into the multifarious future arena can drive the success voyage towards the stairways of successful entrepreneurship. Without taking much of time, I would like to invite first Dr. Josna Singh, Director, IILM Engineering, to deliver the inaugural address. Ma'am, please, over to you.
Thank you, Asta.
Okay,
On behalf of IILM family, I warmly welcome all our esteemed speakers and faculty participants and other participants from distinguished institutions on the forum of national webinar, Hangout with Entrepreneurs. This webinar is a key initiative of our Institute Innovation Cell, which is being recognized by MHRD and called MHRD Innovation Cell. IILM Engineering College is a benchmark for best quality education in the domain of engineering and technology for more than a decade. We have progressed with the vision to provide education based on ethical values, responsible outlook, visionary thinking, industry-oriented skills, initiating entrepreneurial outlook, and fostering creative thinking to build highly innovative and responsible leaders of tomorrow. I'm absolutely proud to share the accomplishment of our students at IILM Engineering College who have brought accolades for the institute, not just at the national level, but at the international levels too. Our mechanical engineering and electrical engineering students have won first prize at Asia level in Moon Buggy Challenge at NASA in USA. Team of our students of biotechnology and computer science streams have won the Breakthrough Innovation Challenges given by the United Nations PRME team. Our students have participated the highly innovative and sustainable model for precision agriculture in United Nations for this challenge, and they have left the lasting impression at the minds of business tycoons at international front. Our students of mechanical and electronics department have won many robotic challenges and competitions held at national level at renowned places like IITs, DTU, NITs, etc. Recently, we have organized IILM Sustainability Carnival in association with United Nations Global Compact India Network, in which more than 60 teams have participated from renowned institutions and more than 200 teams registered, out of which we have selected these 60 teams. And these renowned institutions were IITs, VITs, central universities, AIMS, etc. We have conducted various international conferences, faculty development programs in which more than 2,000 national and international participation was there. Summer schools with more than 1,000 students all across India in different technical domains and so on. So there are so many events we have recently organized. So to enhance the entrepreneurial outlook of our students, we have been working progressively as an innovation cell, which is recognized and ranked by MHRD. So this innovation cell promotes high quality student project and their latest innovations. So this webinar or national webinar is one of these initiatives by our ISC team members to educate students and faculties in this domain so that they are able to start their own projects and ventures. So I wish this webinar a huge success and all the best to the team members. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for gracing this webinar with your kind words. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Pallavi Singh, convener, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Astha. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of IILM Engineering Innovation Cell, it brings me a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this national webinar, Hangout with Entrepreneurs. I extend my warm welcome to all the participants, delegates, esteemed speakers, faculty members, and my dear students. Journey of IILM Engineering Innovation Cell began 2 years back in 2018. We have established a cell affiliated to MHRD with the vision to foster innovation and entrepreneurship in our students and faculty members. We aim to streamline and strengthen the startup ecosystem by establishing synergy amongst various sectors. We organize different activities around the year like ideation and design contest, tech fest, boot camps, startup workshops, industrial visits to incubation and skill development centers, sessions by industrial mentors to inculcate and accentuate entrepreneurial mindset. In order to provide strong support to our students, we have developed collaborations with various incubation centers, venture capitalists, and financial institutions. Centrally driven primary agendas of our IIC are convergence, coherence, and connect. We believe in 3 I's: ideate, innovate, and inspire to transform ideas into reality. I'm glad to share that within a short span of establishment, our innovation cell at IILM has grabbed 2 stars ranking in list of MHRD. And we are among top 50 innovation cells in MHRD list across India. With the aim to provide a common platform to budding entrepreneurs, faculty members, and enthusiastic young minds for interacting with the best in domain mentors and CEOs of successful startups, we have organized this national webinar, Hangout with Entrepreneurs. I'm delighted to share that we have received more than 2,000 registrations at national and international level for this event. On this forum, we have participants from more than 25 states in India and 16 countries in the world. So I wish that this event today proves highly beneficial for you all. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am, for the welcome address. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box along with the name of the speaker to whom you intend to ask in your Zoom control panel. I will bring them up at the end of the session. Please note that e-certificates will be given only to those participants who will attend the complete session and will fill the shared attendance and feedback form, which will be shared after 12 p.m. Moving right along, it is my pleasure to introduce a keynote speaker, Mr. Matthew Joseph. Mr. Matthew Joseph is the Vice President of Apart Technologies Private Limited. He is the head of Artificial Intelligence Lab for CIMB Bank, an alumnus of the University of Chicago and a keynote speaker. He is known for his vibrant leadership in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He is a keynote speaker in many industry conferences and universities. He is also a mentor of many startup companies in the artificial intelligence domain. Matthew has completed his post-graduation in data science and machine learning from the University of Chicago and BTech from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. He has over 29 years of experience of innovation, software development, technology consulting, and project management. Earlier, he worked with IBM, Siemens, and TCS. He is a certified project management professional and a certified industry consultant. Matthew is leading the ideation, design, development, and implementation of artificial intelligence solutions for the marketing, risk compliance, collection, and customer service for the CIMB Bank in 7 countries in Asia. Today, he will deliver on the topic Artificial Intelligence in Entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Asta, for the introduction, and I'm really honored to address this gathering. So we will be talking about artificial intelligence in entrepreneurship. Artificial intelligence is the technology for the future. And artificial intelligence is going to change humanity forever. And it's going to change the industry. It's going to redefine industries, the way we operate and how we operate, and the future of industry, the business strategies, everything. So that's artificial intelligence. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, how do we apply that in entrepreneurship, in a startup? So when I start a new company, how do I apply that artificial intelligence in the industry? So that's the question. So many of these IT services company, they all talk about, they're all selling artificial intelligence solutions in bits and pieces. So if you speak to the different IT services company, they will all talk about different artificial intelligence solutions like the chatbot, risk analytics solutions, probably the campaign management solution, predictive asset maintenance solutions, especially in the manufacturing industry. So these are all talking about artificial intelligence in bits and pieces. But I'm going to speak about how you can apply artificial intelligence across your organization, across your business, and to derive business strategy. How do you run your business? How do you run your organization or the enterprise or your startup driven by artificial intelligence? And how do you manage your decisions and your strategy based on using artificial intelligence? So that's the future of technology. So when we talk about a startup, or when you speak about your entrepreneurship initiative, you have a business idea and you run the business, and then you generate a lot of digital data, and then you bring those data into a big data platform and build artificial intelligence solutions, build machine learning solutions, build natural language processing, build deep learning solutions, and predict the future, predict your customer behavior, and analyze the market, what kind of products, what kind of services the market is looking for, and what are the market trends, understand the feedback from the customer, what is their like, what do they like, what are their interest, their propensity to buy. All these we can understand using artificial intelligence. So it's just the matter of you applying those artificial intelligence in your business idea and drive your business totally, not in terms of bits and pieces, not in terms of nuts and bolts. We will talk about running a car in totality. When I say running a car, it's running your business, running your enterprise. So that's the whole thought about artificial intelligence. So now the question will be, so you have a startup company, you have a startup initiative where you are building a certain, trying to solve a certain business problem, or you are trying to create a certain service to a certain segment of the humanity, to the population, or you are trying to build or manufacture certain products which is going to, you are going to sell out to many countries. So how do you apply artificial intelligence to that business? So that's the question. So you take about a retail business or an online retail store where you are going to sell the your products online, right? So you need to have a lot of, you every day you are going to take a lot of decisions about your business, about your marketing campaigns, about your sales promotions, about the sales offers which you give, about the product features, about your operations, how you are going to do the business, how you are going to manufacture certain products. So all these decisions about your management, about your strategy, all that can be driven by artificial intelligence. So you can build machine learning models and predict how the market is behaving. What is the customer propensity? What are the customer interests? What do they like? What is that they don't like? Right? And what are the kind of features they like in your product or service? So we can understand all that by collecting that digital data and going digital. So probably you need to have IoT enabled systems. You need to have sensors on your machineries in your, if you have a manufacturing plant. So you need to collect all that data, bring it into a big data platform, probably on a cloud, on an AWS or Oracle Cloud or Google Cloud, any of those cloud, or on your data center, and then develop machine learning solution, develop deep learning solutions, develop computer vision or NLP solutions, and then drive your business strategy based on those recommendations. So that is the way forward for any business, be it a new startup or any existing company. So I'm going to speak about 3 success stories about how artificial intelligence is driving business and how artificial intelligence is redefining the business. So I will be speaking about those 3 success stories which I have done. Right? So you will get an idea about how you can apply artificial intelligence in your business scenario, in your business concept, or a business which you are planning to launch soon, a business idea, a business concept which you are going to launch, how you can apply this technology and to drive business, a data-driven business, AI-driven business, artificial intelligence-enabled driven business, right? So that should be the way we go forward. So success story number 1. So this is a startup company based out of Mumbai, where I am a mentor for this agri-tech startup. So what they do is, so this is pretty new, started recently. So this is a typical case study for all those of you out there who want to start a new startup, who want to initiate a new startup, who want to conceptualize a business idea into and materialize into a business newly. Right? So this is a typical case where they are applying artificial intelligence to end-to-end drive their business. So they are an agri-tech company, which means a technology company into agriculture, farming. So they are based out of Mumbai and they take care of the agriculture in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and some of the North Indian states. So what they do is they collect the satellite images, satellite state. So they have tie-up with the government and then collect the satellite images of the soil and process that using machine learning, using deep learning. They build deep learning solutions and predict the pH value of the soil from place to place. For every area of farmland, they predict the pH value of that soil. And they collect the demographic data, they collect the climate data, and all the other data related, which is going to impact your crops, impact your agriculture farming. And then they predict what are the particular crops which are suitable for that particular soil. And they give the recommendation to the farmers, whether the farmers are small farmers or big guys, big farmers who are into contract farming, and the people who are the farmers who have acres of land, probably 10 acres or 20 acres or 50 acres, irrespective of the size of their farmland. This solution is recommending the right crops for each of those land based on the soil structure and the pH value, and then they will suggest, predict what is the fertilizer needed for that crop, with given that this is the soil structure, this is the pH value of that soil. So what is the fertilizer they can use? So they are predicting that using deep learning solutions, and then how frequently this fertilizer should be applied, right? So that recommendation is given to the farmers, and then the farmers, they don't need to worry about the right quantity of the fertilizer and the right chemical of the fertilizer, or what is the frequency. They don't need to worry, because this solution is giving them the recommendation, what kind of fertilizer should I be using, at which frequency, at what quantity, and again the pest. So this machine learning solution will predict what are the kind of pests which are likely to attack this farm, these crops. What are the pests which is going to come at which time of the year, which period of the year, which month of the year, and then what are the suitable pesticides? How will you apply? So you deploy a drone, and then, as you can see in this picture, you can apply. So you can apply this pesticides or the fertilizer using the drone. So at what frequency and how much amount, how much quantity, all this is recommended by the artificial intelligence solution. So their business completely is artificial intelligence driven. It is not a piece of artificial intelligence solution which they are plugging into their whole business. No, that's not the case. Their entire business of agri-tech solution is the back end engine, the back end, completely it's driven by artificial intelligence. It is completely driven by data. It is completely driven by data science. So that's about the farming. And then they have this solution, they have this online store which they're building, where they cut down all the middlemen. So you know that the greatest tragedy in India is the farmers, the farming is not commercially viable. And you read the story of farmers committing suicide in the newspapers, in the media. It comes every other day. So for example, a farmer who is farming potato or onion, if you go to store, as a consumer, if I go to a store or a supermarket, I may have to pay 50 rupees per kilo for the potato or the onion. And what the farmer gets is probably 2 rupees per kilo or 3 rupees per kilo, and sometimes 1 rupees per kilo. So that's, and the remaining 48 rupees or 47 rupees is taken away by the middlemen. And of course, there is the cost of logistics, the cost of transporting probably the potato or the onion from North India to South India, or from a different state. But that logistic cost probably will be less than 5 rupees per kilo. So the remaining amount is going to the middlemen. So what this technology, this online market, online e-commerce market does is, it cuts down all the middlemen. So the farmer can, if a farmer in Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh can sell his produce on this website, on this online market, and the buyers from different state, from different places in the same state or different state, they can go and buy it. Right. So that's the invention, that is the innovation they are coming up with in the agriculture farming. And then all this business is driven by artificial intelligence. So behind the scene, there are machine learning models which are developed to understand the customer propensity to buy. What is that customer want? Are they looking for raw vegetables, or are they looking for processed food items? Are they looking for so say if you take banana as an example of vegetable, you can process, you can sell the banana as banana itself, or you can fry it and sell it as chips, or you can apply some sweets and you can make it a sweet item. So you can sell the same vegetable as raw vegetable, or you can process it and sell it. So this machine learning models, this machine learning solutions behind this e-commerce system will predict what is the likes of the different customers from different state, different age group, different demographics. What is that they like at which period of time? The customer interest will vary. The customers in Gujarat may have a different interest than compared to a customer from in Punjab or in UP. And the different age groups, they will have different sentiments, they will have different interests, they will have different interest about the products. So all this solution, this machine learning solution will analyze the business, analyze the customer market, customer sentiments, and then deliver the products at the right time. So, for example, the artificial intelligence will say that during the Diwali time, there are market in the UP or in Maharashtra, in some of the areas, there is a demand for sweets, or there is demand for fried chips. So that demand is predicted in advance by this solution, and the farmers are, and this recommendation is given back to the farmers. Then the farmers are able to produce the right product at the right time and deliver to the right customer. So the customer gets his the right product at the right time. So that's very important. And then the customer feedback, whatever the feedback, the review, he is posting it on the social media, everything is analyzed using natural language processing, the NLP, and the feedback, the sentiment, customer sentiment is taken by the business, and it is given back to the customers. This is what the customer, the market, the consumers like. This is what the customers' interest. This is what they don't like. So you can correct yourself. So that's how an artificial intelligence or data science can drive your business end to end. So that was success story number 1. So let's come to the success story number 2. This is a diamond merchant in Gujarat, again a startup company. So they are employing artificial intelligence in their manufacturing, planning, cutting, shaping, polishing, and grading of diamond gemstone. You know that, those who are familiar with diamond manufacturing, you know that it's a highly labor-intensive manual work. So people do the diamond cutting manually, and then they have machines where the humans, the operators or the technicians are manually operating the diamond cutting machines, and the polishing and the grading, shaping, everything is done manually using machines. But it's not automated, it's not robot. So what this merchant has done is he has engaged an artificial intelligence powered robot machine which is cutting the diamonds by selecting and positioning the rough diamond for optimal cutting with utmost precision. So the precision is taken care, the quality is taken care, and then advanced evaluation planning. So based on the market demand, what is the market demand, which design, what fashion, what is needed, all that data is collected and machine learning models are built, artificial intelligence solutions are built, and then the product are made just as what is needed for the consumers. And he's an exporter, he's exporting to many countries in the Europe and America. So all the geographies, different countries, different demographics, different people, different age groups, the interest will be different. So he's collecting the data from that, analyzing all this information and producing the right product with the right design at the right quality at the right time. So that's what the diamond industry. So you take any industry, artificial intelligence can drive the business. So this AI-powered robot will help the whole diamond industry, and the quality, in terms of the accuracy, the speed of delivery, the speed of manufacturing, and the profitability, everything is increased. And as you know, the diamond industry is manual, labor-oriented. So the moment there is people doing it, there are chances of human error. The quality can come down every day. So with AI-powered robot, it is completely eliminated. So you can have quality, improve the quality, and then you can predict the market trend, customer propensity to buy. Each country, each location, each geography, each age segment, each category of people, what does that customer want? What is that customer like? Take all that data, and the machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science solutions will predict what are the market trends, what kind of fashions, what are the trends in each country, each demographics, And based on that recommendation, you can predict the future. What is the demand? Which kind of gemstones? Which kind of diamond? What kind of quality? And what kind of fashion cutting? You can produce. You can plan your production based on the market trend and analytics and the prediction given by the machine learning solutions. Right. So that's how you can apply artificial intelligence in diamond industry. So this is just an example. You take any industry. You have the data, you can generate the digital data, and you can apply artificial intelligence in your decision making, in your business strategy, in your manufacturing planning, everything. Right? So that was story number 2. And the third one is artificial intelligence, how you can reinvent the banking. So this is a story, success story of artificial intelligence in the banking sector. So as I mentioned, now I'm heading this artificial intelligence lab for one of the multinational bank. And 2 years back, we had the plan to launch this bank. So this bank is already in 16 countries in Asia. So we had the plan to launch this bank into another country in South Asia. Right? And then we analyzed the market using data science. So we found that this market is already saturated. All the international, multinational, big banks are already there. They are all doing business there. And this bank is this country is a young country. The population of younger generation is very high, and their mobile penetration is very high, and their digital penetration is very high in this market. So we found out all this insight using artificial intelligence. And then we found that this market is already saturated with all the international banks like HSBC, Citibank, Amex, and Standard. All the banks are already there operating for many years. So when we go to a new country, when you want to launch a new bank, what are the different options? Right? So the first option is, say, for example, the Citibank coming from US to India a few decades back, many years back. So the option number 1 is the bank, Citibank, can come to India. They can go to different metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, and lease out big offices at the city centers. At the core, the main center of the city, they can lease out big branches which need millions of investment. Right? And then they can start branches in all these metro cities, and then gradually expand to tier 2 cities and to the smaller cities like Pune or or Hyderabad, different cities, right? But this need heavy investment, millions, and you have to hire hundreds of people. You have to have branches. You need to have ATM centers, ATM machines, ATM network. All this you need to build. So option number 1, need heavy investment. Option number 2 is, if the Citibank is coming to India, they can probably acquire a smaller Indian bank, like a South Indian Bank or a Punjab National Bank or a Bank of Baroda, any of the smaller bank. They can acquire that, and then that after acquisition, that bank will become a Citibank subsidiary, a fully owned subsidiary, or it becomes a Citibank, and they will acquire, say, 200 branches of this particular bank. And then they will have 1,000 ATM centers at different cities across India. They can acquire this bank and start growing from there. Again, this need heavy investment, millions and millions of dollars. So we didn't go with all these options. So instead of that, we analyzed the market, and based on data, we have come up with a different strategy. Right? Instead of going this conventional mode of acquiring a separate new bank or starting on your own by investing in many branches, huge branches in the metro cities, instead of that, we acquired the customer data from a wallet fintech company. When I say wallet fintech company, an example is the Paytm, right? Paytm is a wallet company. You can pay online using your mobile phone. You do all these small kind of transactions. So this wallet fintech company had the data for 2 million customers. So we acquired that data, and then we built deep learning, machine learning solutions. We built many NLP solutions. We built many advanced data science solutions to understand the customer from this data. And then we predicted what are those customers' income. So this wallet company data will not have the my income. So if I have an account in Paytm, that will not have, it will not talk about that. Paytm will not know how much is my income. Am I a businessman where I'm earning millions in a month, or my annual turnover is 10 crore in a year, or 100 crore, or I am a salaried person where my salary is 50 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs. The Paytm will not know. So what we have done is we took all the remaining customer data and we built a machine learning solution to predict the customer income. What are they business people? Are they rich people? Where are they living? What do they own? Do they own? And we collected the data from the social media, from the public domain for these customers. And then we built machine learning solutions to their propensity to save, how much they can save, what product they can buy. And then we had targeted campaigns. Instead of trying to reach all the customers in that country, we had personalized targeted campaigns targeting these customers based on their income, their propensity to save, their propensity to take loans. And within 14 months, we have grown from 0 to 2.6 million customers. That is the power of artificial intelligence when you are launching a business in a new locality or in a new country. It was as good as a startup for us in that country. So we have grown from 0 customers to 2.6 million customers within 14 months. And believe me, we are 100% digital. We are 100% digital in this country. We do not own any branches there. We do not own any ATM machines there. We have tie-up with other banks for their ATM services. And whenever you withdraw money from that, and then we pay that service provider. And we just have an office in an IT tower where we have data scientists sitting there and building data science solutions, analyzing the market, analyzing the strategy. We just have 36 employees in that country and no branches. And everything is digital. All the banking transactions are done by either through your mobile or through online website, bank. So that's a new strategy which we have driven using artificial intelligence. And we don't sell their credit card because as per our machine learning model prediction, we found that the credit card market is already saturated there. So we don't sell credit card there even now. We only sell personal loans, home loans, mortgage loans, savings account, and fixed deposit. That's it. So this is a different strategy. So the strategy of our business, the banking business in that country, is completely 100% decided and defined, driven by machine learning solution, driven by NLP recommendations, natural language processing, right? So this is an excellent story of how you can grow exponentially your business, how you can launch exponentially using new strategies, unconventional methods. Probably, I'm sure that this is the first time you hear about a bank launching in a new country in this way. Instead of spending millions and billions, very smart way of launching your business. That is the power of artificial intelligence, right? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, so I want to explain a little more on this story, success story of this bank. So when we talk about a bank, what is a bank? I'm a salaried person. I'm sure that all of your professors, and they will also understand. No, you are a salaried person, and what's a bank for us as a customer? Whether you are a account holder in Citibank or SDFC Bank or State Bank of India or any of the banks, what is a bank for us? For us, it's a salary account. You get your salary every month, and then probably you have some savings. And if you have some extra money, you move that to fixed deposit. You may have 5 lakhs rupees fixed deposit or 10 lakhs rupees or some amount of fixed deposit. And then you have a debit card. Whenever you want to withdraw money, you can go to a nearby ATM and withdraw money using that debit card. Then you have a credit card. Whenever you want to purchase, you go to a shopping mall, or you want to purchase something, you have a credit card to buy. And then what else? So when you want to buy a car or a two-wheeler, you take an auto loan. When you want to buy an apartment or you want to build a house, you have a home loan. That's it. So these are all conventional services or products for a bank, right? So when we talk about a bank, For a salaried person, this is bank as a consumer, as a customer. For a business person, probably he may have a little more interaction with the bank. Probably he may be investing more there, but the products are more or less the same. So we redefined the boundaries of banking using artificial intelligence. Completely, we changed the way banks are operating. So how frequently you go to a bank? If you go to a bank and ask them for a recommendation about buying a house, they are not going to give you that recommendation, which is the better. What kind of your future financial planning? They are not going to help you. You go to a branch, your nearby branch for a service. You take a token, you stand there for 15 minutes, and you finish. Then you go for a home loan. You have to go with all your paper documents, prove that you are a customer there, prove that all your credentials, right? All that we change. So we built a mobile solution there, mobile app, where based on your location, the bank will give you the recommendation. So today I'm in Bangalore and tomorrow I'm coming to Delhi. Based on my geolocation, the bank will recommend what is needed for me. So for example, if I'm going for lunch that time, the bank already knows what is my propensity, my interest, food habits, and the bank knows that I like Chinese food. The bank will recommend me the Chinese restaurant nearby. And I can go there and get a 10% discount because my bank already has a tie-up with that restaurant. And evening, when I go for a shopping, the bank knows my purchase behavior, what kind of dress I like, what kind of products I buy. If I buy electronic gadgets or phones or camera or electronic goods, the bank already knows. And the bank will recommend these are the right store near to me. And evening, the bank knows that I like English fiction movies. The bank will give me the recommendation for the best English fiction movie which is running in the nearby screen. And the bank will give me the recommendation. I can go there and using my credit card, I pay and I get a 10% discount there because my bank already has a tie-up there. The same is the case with if I buy a car or a housing property, the bank knows all my financial background, my credit history, my investment, my incomes, my current spending habit, how much I spend every month, how much I save every month, what are the loans running, all that my bank knows, and the bank will give me the right recommendation for the right car model and the right house model and tell me, and he will give me help me as a financial partner. So from being a conventional bank, which is giving standard products, we have changed using artificial intelligence. We have changed the bank to your financial partner on which is the partner who is going to help you taking decisions every moment of your life, every day for all your financial needs. So that's a huge paradigm shift. It's a huge way you can change the business. So this is how you transform an existing huge business. Bank is an existing business and every bank is operating the same way. So we have completely transformed the way banks are operating, right? So that is where we can run the artificial intelligence. We can use artificial intelligence to run your business. So to recap, let me come back to the 3 success stories. We talk about agriculture fintech, we spoke about diamond merchants, and we spoke about bank. So these are 3 different industries, 3 different verticals. Irrespective of the industry, irrespective of which domain it is, you can use artificial intelligence to drive your business. Not just building small artificial intelligence solutions and like chatbot or campaign management solution to solve your small business problem. Instead of that, look for artificial intelligence which can drive your entire business end to end, drive your business strategy, understand the market, understand the customer interest, customer propensity, and optimize your business, optimize your HR, everything. You can transform everything. So I welcome all of you, those who are planning to launch your entrepreneurship initiatives, those who are planning to launch your startup initiatives, go for this technology. This is a technology. Irrespective of the business you are getting into, you can use this technology to drive your business. You can use this technology to grow your business exponentially. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Asta.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such a wonderful thoughts with us. I am Dr. Manjula Shanmugh, IILM IIC convener. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce to our session speaker, Mr. Anish Kumar Rathi. Mr. Rathi is CEO and founder of Learner.ai, world's learning community. He is an entrepreneur. Before that, he had worked with various startups for about 5 years. Mr. Rathi is an engineering graduate from EEE, Bangalore-based engineering college. Right now, he is working on solving the long-pending problem of education, accessibility and affordability with Learner.ai, which is a communication and networking platform for education. Within 6 months, he is able to scale up Learner.ai to more than 50,000 monthly active users. He is an active speaker and has been mentoring thousands of students on entrepreneurship. Sir, I welcome you and request you to share your knowledge and experience with us.
Hello, can you guys hear me? So thank you, Dr. Manjula. That was and thank you, Mr. Matthew Joseph, for the amazing session today. It was a really great talk about AI, and there were actually a few things which even I didn't know. So that was really great. Thanks a lot for that. So good morning, all of you. And today I'm going to take you through, what is entrepreneurship, and I'm going to tell you about my journey. How has my journey been, and what you guys can do to make it better, to plan it better, so that failures are the least in this journey. So entrepreneurship, first of all, let me tell you what entrepreneurship is. So basically, entrepreneurship is the name of solving a problem. When you solve a problem and you try to make a business out of it, that is what entrepreneurship is. Okay, so you figure out there is a problem in the world right now, and you want to solve it, and when you solve it, people pay you for it. So that's basically entrepreneurship, and that's what we are going to be talking about today. Okay, so let me start with the roadmap. So first, when the idea comes to when an idea comes to you, what do you do is you try to you have a stage, you have a complete plan of how are you going to go ahead with these things, and start your idea. So before going into anything, the first stage that comes to you, the first thing that you got to do is make a roadmap for your own good, and for the good of the company that you're going to be starting, right? And that plan actually, okay, let me just sit. Okay, yeah, so that roadmap actually starts with ideation. First you get an idea, and then you plan on the idea, like what is the problem that you are seeing, and then you figure out that once you have figured out that there is a problem, then you work on the idea part of it. Like what can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it better, not just for one or two people, but for everybody, so that they start paying me and I make a business out of it. So that is what the planning part of that is the after the ideation stage. After you have figured out what the problem is, then you have to make a plan of like, how are you going to achieve this? So you have to make a roadmap out of it, and then you have to try to put it down on a paper or something, and then you can basically work out the details of it. Then the third step that you're going to be facing, that you're going to go through, is the execution part of it. So once you have a plan, once you have an idea that this is what I'm going to do, and if I do this, people will pay me so and so amount, and then you go ahead and start with the execution plan. So this is the most basic step in entrepreneurship. So basically, never just go with the idea. Always try to get a plan of the idea, and then try to execute it, like basically get something out there in the market, so that you guys can get the feedback of your actual customers, who you are trying to reach. And because that is what actually matters. It doesn't matter what the idea is, it doesn't matter how good the execution is. It matters whether users are going to pay for it or not. And that is what the execution stage comes in for. Once you start executing, you get feedback, and then you go back to the second step of planning, and then from there you move ahead with execution again. So plan and execute. That is what basically it is. Okay. So now let me tell you how what are the characteristics, like what are the questions. Basically entrepreneurship starts with the basics of asking questions. So the most basic thing that you need to do is ask questions. Ask yourself. The first question that you need to ask is, which most of us miss out, is that what is this idea worth? Is it worth my time? Is it worth this much time, or is it worth that much time? Like, plan it out that if it is worth this much time, if I'm able to get something out of it within this time frame or something, then might be let me pursue it. But basically that is, again, then it depends on you, that whether you want to take those big steps, you want to take that risk. Entrepreneurs are mostly always risk taking people, right? So that problem that you figured out has not been solved yet, because nobody wanted to take that risk, but you are planning to take that risk. That makes you an entrepreneur. So risk taking, problem solving. So as Mr. Joseph told us about 3 companies. Now, if you see, all those 3 companies are trying to solve a problem. None of them is like, okay, so let me just make a AI-based banking system. No, because there was a need of a AI banking system. That's why they had to make it. Then agriculture startup. Again, the farmers are facing loss, suicides and all that, and a really bad scenario. And they're doing a really amazing job, right? Something that required the government to go to the field and check out the soil and everything, and then give some data. These guys are able to do it remotely, and they are able to do it without any human intervention, or least amount of human work. And that is what makes that's what makes a person an entrepreneur, when you try to solve a problem. So always remember, this is the first thing that you have to remember. It is a problem that you need to solve. Let it be any company, let it be XYZ company, or any company that you have seen till now, or any entrepreneur that you have seen till now. They mostly face the problems themselves, or they figured out that this is the problem in market, and let me solve this. So it starts from a problem. Always remember that problem is the first basic step. That is the first question that you got to ask. Is there a problem? Is there actually a problem over here? So if you want to make a messenger, say, right, okay, you want to make a messenger like WhatsApp or something, you got to ask yourself, is there a need for this? Can I do better than WhatsApp? What is WhatsApp lacking? I'm not saying you cannot build it, or there cannot be nothing better than WhatsApp. Companies come and go, products come and go. And that is what, but the first thing that you need to ask is there a problem here? Okay, because if there is not a problem, then you might have to spend a lot on customer acquisitions and all, and then it goes all of that goes into vain. Okay, it doesn't make sense to pay customers to come and use your product. Always remember that they should come and use your product because they are facing a problem somewhere else, and you are solving that problem and solving it better, cheaper and faster. BCF, that is the what do you call, that is what you should always think of when you're trying to solve a problem. Always think whether it is how can I provide a better solution, how can I provide a cheaper solution, and how can I provide a faster solution to this problem. So if you are able to do these three things, then you're good to go. Then you have to move ahead to the next stage, that is your planning. And in planning now, let me go into a little bit detail about planning, because this is the step where most of us are confused, like not confused, but okay, let me just tell you. So once you have your idea, right, you are not going to say that this is a good idea, or this is you are never going to say that this is a bad idea, right? You always need somebody else to review that idea for you, and the best thing to do that, and the best people to do that, is your friends and family. So if you can convince them that this is a problem, and if I give you this solution, would you try to use it? Go to them, ask them questions, and then even try to get to your first few customers even before, and you should do this even before you're trying to build your first product. So if you are saying, suppose let us say if you're building a SaaS company, SaaS company is probably the best example right now. SaaS is a software as a solution. So If you see this company called Zoho, if somebody knows, I don't know how many of you know that Zoho is a company which is a SaaS company, and it's India's biggest SaaS company, doing near about 40 million US dollars a year business. And what happens is you have to go to your customers. So basically what they do is they provide you software solutions, and one more interesting thing about Zoho is that they are built without any funding. Okay, so they have raised zero funding till date, and it's $1 billion company already, and it is the biggest company, biggest SaaS company in India right now. So always remember that if you need most of the entrepreneurs thinks that that I'll go ahead and I'll raise funding, and then that is when things will become all right. It's not about that. It's about whether you can get this business off ground without funding. There is no problem if you are getting funding for it. It's absolutely all right. But think of it. But always remember that funding is not the goal here. The goal here is to establish a company, establish $1 billion company which generates some revenue. Okay, so that is the goal when you start entrepreneurship. So don't ever think like, okay, I'll start a company, I'll get some users, and then I'll go ahead and look for funding, because that does not work. That absolutely does not work, because going to raise funding, they are going to ask you thousands of questions, and you need to, even if you are in the ideation stage, you need to prove everything with numbers. So okay, so write it down. You have to write it down. You have to show the calculations. How did you arrive to those calculations? What are you going to be business figures after 5 years? How are you going to go to those 5 years? What is your go-to market strategy? How you're going to manage? But all those things are in detail if we go, right? Let me now come back to our planning part. So when you go for planning, these are the things that you need to plan. What I will be doing, how many users are there in India right now? This is the best way to know whether a business will sustain or not. Why? Because if you don't have enough large market, so if you have a market of just say about 10,000 users, then it is very difficult for your business to survive, because those 10,000 are already using something, and getting those 10,000 to your platform, it's very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. If those 10,000 people are paying 1 crore a month, amazing business idea, right? If you can get all of them. But then again, 10,000 people paying 1 crore a month, it's a very what do you call it? It's impossible right now. I don't think anybody is doing that. Any business is doing that right now. So that is what you got to think. It should be a big market, and what is the market size? How much market will I be able to capture it? So capture of the total market. This is all that comes into the planning part, right? So whatever you're trying to do, just go into the details, sit down by yourself. And by the way, for all this, you do not need a single penny. You just need your time. You just need to sit down. You just need a pen and a paper, write it down and work it out on paper. If it works on paper, it can work in real life as well, because that's the thing about numbers, right? They don't lie. And now the third part is execution. Now, once you have thought of an idea, once you have planned it out and it works out to be really great idea, within 5 years, within 5 years, you are able to generate 30 to 40 million US dollars, or say, even if you're able to generate 10 million US dollars a year, that's a good business idea, let me say. But then it depends on how much you have to give get that 10K out. So always remember that there's a balance you need to maintain. So leaving all that behind, now let me go to the execution part. Now what happens in execution part is, once you have an idea, always remember, don't talk but show. That is what we say in entrepreneurship webinars and all, that you don't have to talk about your product, you have to show your product. Let it be a prototype, let it be anything, let it be just a 10 user something, a 10 user, 20 user, 100 user, 1,000 users, anything that you can build without taking too much risk, or with balancing that risk that you have to take. You have to always remember, you have to balance the risk. You cannot always be self-aware. Always be self-aware. That's what I'll tell, because you know what your situation is and you know how much risk can you take. And then again, then the last part is your hunger. So your hunger for something decides how far you will go for it and how much are you willing to give into for that thing, right? So always remember your hunger, risk management. These are the two things that you got to do. You got to do it from day one. And now let me come to finally, I think I'm running out of time here. Now let me quickly give you a brief on what is the execution part. So execution mainly, it starts from the first step. The first step of execution is getting a team. So if you can, it is very difficult for people to invest in single entrepreneurs because it creates a lot of legal complexities, and people are not happy to do that. They are of course happy if you are an entrepreneur like Jeff Bezos or someone who has already proved yourself. But if you are a single entrepreneur who has not proved himself, then it is very difficult for people to invest in you. So always remember, you have to get a team. To get, it can be a 2-member team, it can be a 10-member team, 20-member team, but always remember you have to get a team. Okay, and then what you give that team again matters, again depends on you. You give them equity or money or whatever it is. It is very good if you give them equity, co-founders and all that. If you make a founding team, that will be even more, founding team is actually the team that owns all the equity in the company. So if you are 2 guys, you might be owning 50-50 each, right? So always remember, you have to get a team. You have to show people that, you have people who care for this, and you have people with you who are working on the idea. You just got the idea from somewhere, and then you are working on it alone throughout. You are not able to convince anybody. Then that gives a bad signal, a very bad signal. In fact, not just a bad signal, it gives a very bad signal that people are not able to trust on this, right? Now, make sure that you have a team. That is the first step in execution. Now, the second step is you need to have a prototype, MVP, or a plan built out, or at least if you cannot, so if it is a website or something, you can have a few users, few thousand users. You can have their surveys done. You can ask them how was their experience, and how did they like the product, and all those surveys that you can show. Now the second part that you okay, so execution, the second part is building a prototype. Now the third thing that you got to do in execution is always remember, you have to take your product to the market. That is called marketing. When you take your product to the market, it's called marketing. So marketing is not just giving money to somebody and promoting your product. So that is not what it is. Marketing is a very big field. I'll give you just the gist of it. Marketing requires you to take your product to the right customer at the right time, and tell them what it is for. If you build a product and users are not using it for what you build it, then you will have to change your whole plan. That might change. Basically, if your users are using it, then you're still good, but then you will not be able to build the product that you dreamt of. So always remember, users have to use the product as why you build it, right? They don't have to use it according to their comfort and choice. So that you can do through marketing. You can get them to, and marketing consists of all sort of things. Like you can do online webinars, you can do online YouTube videos, or you can do some other videos, some other sorts of things. But basically, marketing is not just about getting your product to the market. It is about telling your users how to use it and how to use it better. And get their results. Again, the same thing: better, cheaper, and faster. These are the 3 things. So if you have better results, if you have cheaper results, and if you have faster results in your product, then there is absolutely nothing that can stop you, right? So that is what it is about, this thing. And now one more thing that I want to cover here is entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, so entrepreneurial mindset is something that in everything that is a problem, that is really necessary. If there is not a problem and then you are seeing a problem, then it is not an entrepreneurial mindset. If you see a problem and then you see how to solve it, okay, that is the first thing. That is the first thing that you have to look when you go for the entrepreneurial mindset. Like you have to look into why is this problem and how can I solve this and how can I make it better, cheaper and faster? How can I make the results better, cheaper and faster? So these are the things that you need to think. Now, in this mindset, there is one thing that is most important of all, that is self-reliance. Okay. So you cannot think that, okay, let me start this and then I'll call my friends and they all of us will come and then start. No, first thing is you have to be self-reliant. So even if nobody is coming into it, you can try to do it alone. Just do it. And as I told you, every business does not need funding, right? So if you're able to do, if you're able to get a few clients and generate some revenue or something, then that is really amazing. Like even if you're able to generate great margins of revenue and great margins of profit, then there is no need for you to what do you say that you don't even need a co-founding team if you can prove yourself. Basically, why you need a co-founding team is because nobody is perfect in everything. So somebody would be good in technology, somebody would be good in marketing, and somebody would be good in some other thing. So that is why you need a co-founding team. But if you prove it through your product, if you have a product and if you prove it to the people that this is what I have done and this is what I started a few days ago and this is the revenue that I'm generating from this, there is no investor that will say no to you. Okay. So don't think that, if I am alone, I cannot do it. You can always do it. You can always do it. But just that the journey would be a little more tougher than if you had a team with you. Right. And the most important thing that an entrepreneur needs to have is communication skills. Okay. If you cannot explain to somebody sitting in front of you that what your idea is and how are you going to implement it, then it's a very big problem. Right. So it does not, it will basically you'll not be able to explain your idea and they will not get the gist of business into it. And then they might end up being not interested. And that can be anybody. That can be your investors, that can be your customers, that can be your clients, or that can be your potential business partners or anybody. Right. So communication is one thing that you need the most. Okay. So communication, self-reliance. These are the two things. Okay. And then third is the problem solving. Never think of it like, why does this exist? Think of it as, how can I solve it? Right? How can I solve it? Go on yourself, not on the team. Think of it as from your side. If you want to take support from your team, that's good enough. But think of it as, how can I solve this problem and make people's life better? And think of solving it for everybody. Right? So I think I'm running out of time here. So I'll just quickly tell you, these are the three, I'll tell you the 3 steps that I mentioned in the roadmap to entrepreneurship. That is your ideation, where you generate the idea and work on it. Second is your planning, work out the numbers on that idea. How much can you generate? What can you generate? What years it will take? And how much will it take you for you to break even? Because of course you're going to put some of your amount into it, right? So that amount, how much does it take to get that amount back? That is called breaking even. So work out all those things. And then last part is the execution. Once you have worked out everything, once you know that it is going to make profit, only then go for execution. If it is not going to make profit, then don't go for execution. Then probably you have to work on the ideation stage. You go back to the ideation stage. How can I turn this into a profit generating business? That is so these are the 3 steps that you got. Okay, so I'll end my session over here and hand it over back to the speakers. Guys, please take over.
Thank you, Mr. Rathi, for your valuable thoughts on entrepreneurship. You have highlighted about the idea. Idea is a problem and entrepreneurs can solve the problem and takes the risk. This is the biggest challenge or quality of an entrepreneur. Good morning all. I am Dr. Deepak Bansal, Assistant Professor, IILM Engineering and member of IILM IIC Cell. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Aditya Bose. Mr. Aditya Bose is an engineering graduate by training and he started his venture pro bono in 2017 after graduation with the thought of helping school students to explore and discover their passion. Pro Bono, a career guidance venture in the EdTech space of India, now provides online career guidance to high school students, college students, and ITI students across India. They have provided career guidance to more than 15,000 students across 15 states of India. I welcome you, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak. And that was a great introduction, I think. Thank you so much for that. And I think I have seen some great sessions by Mr. Matthew and Mr. Anish. I think no pressure at all. So I'll try to do my best. So as Deepak sir introduced me, my name is Aditya Bose and I'm the founder of Pro Bono. So I'll just share my screen. Here we go. Cool. So good morning, everyone. I am, again, I'd like to greet you all. Thank you so much for attending. I was just following the live chat. It's just amazing interaction going on. I hope during my session also such interaction keeps going on. So I've already introduced myself. I'm the founder of Pro Bono, and Pro Bono helps high school students, college students, and ITI students make the right career choices. So I'll also explain the name meaning here. So basically, pro means professional, good at something. Bano in Hindi means to become. Like Kabil Bano, Samajhdar Bano, Pro Bono. Why I have to explain this is because many people confuse it with Pro Bono or Pro Bano, something like that. Pro Bono is also an English word, so which I did not know at the time of forming the name. So yeah, that's why I explained the name. And today I'll talk about entrepreneurship, a viable career option. Why am I talking about this? I think Mr. Anish already gave us such a great insight about this career option and what it entails. So when Dr. Pallavi approached me that, there is this amazing session happening with potential entrepreneurs, with college students, I was thinking, what can I do to help them, which is unique here, which you can't find in a TED talk or which you can't find anywhere else on the internet. And there's already so much amazing information available on the internet. So I thought that, okay, let me share my journey with all of you. And then you're free to draw whatever learning you can from it. And I'll also share my own learning from my journey. So this is the only thing that is exclusive to me and that I can really uniquely share with you. So don't worry, this is not going to be a lecture. I am 25 years of age, so I'm not very old. I'm, for any student who's watching, I'm hardly a few years elder to you. So this, I hope, will be relatable for you. So since I'm a career guide and an entrepreneur, this is the best thing I can share. So let's start. Why did I start Pro Bono? Now, since there is no audience interaction, I can't see, the live chat here. I'll say good question and move on. So just take 2 seconds to read this. That is the myth about entrepreneurship, that engineers start a startup these days to get the attention of girls, which, by the way, is not completely wrong. But yeah, I did not start for that. And yeah, I'm also an engineer by training, which I'm pretty sure many people in the audience are. So I studied from Indian Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, Shibpur, which is IIEST. Why I take the full name of my college is because even though it's an INI, Institute of National Importance, very few people know about it. So I try to spread as much awareness as possible. So I did my engineering from here, from the year 2013 to 2017. So as you can see, I'm a very recent graduate. And I joined in the information technology branch of engineering. So what's my story? I'll start here. So when I was in class 10th, I was really good at academics. I used to score above 90% all the time, usually class first ranker or the second ranker always. And I was also really good at repairing small issues with a computer. So let's say there's a virus in a computer. So I can install an antivirus, or I can format the Windows drive. And at that time, it was a big skill. Somebody can format the Windows drive. It is exclusive knowledge. Plus, very few people had that CD with the Windows copy in it. So I was that kid. I had learned a bit of assembling and disassembling at a very minor level. So I knew how to troubleshoot small problems in a computer. So for any friend of mine who ever ran into any problem regarding his or her computer, I was the go-to guy. So I thought that, okay, you know what, I should become a computer engineer. Plus, my elder brother at that time was pursuing computer engineering, and he had cleared IIT JEE with a decent rank. And I saw him getting a lot of respect. So I thought that, okay, IIT JEE seems like something which earns you a lot of respect, plus earns you a very stable and secure job in the future. Plus, I think I have some interest in computers, so I should take it up. So after class 10th comes the stream choice. You have to choose a few subjects which you want to pursue in the future. Obviously, I chose physics, chemistry, and math. Now, the fourth subject, you have a choice between computer science and physical education. But even though I wanted to become a computer engineer, I chose physical education. Why? Because I wanted to focus totally on my JEE exam, and I did not want to take an additional burden on myself for the board exams. So I took up physical education, cleared class 12th, gave the JEE exam, did not do very well at it. So, I thought that I should drop out. But then my parents told me, for the first time, they ever strongly suggested me that you should definitely pursue engineering this year. If you really want to reattempt the exam, go and do it next year and see if you can do well enough to graduate to another college. I told, okay. So I took admission in this college. Now, when I took admission here, what happened is I was very angry. Why I was angry? Because I wanted to take admission in a premier college like IIT Delhi or IIT Kharagpur, and here I was in a second-tier engineering college. So I thought that let me, go ahead and become the best all-rounder in college. I'll just stop sharing for a while so that you can see my face also. Yeah. So I thought that let me, become the best all-rounder of my college. With this thing in mind, I joined every club. I joined the music club, the dance club, the drama club, and all the clubs that were there, the photography club. So I started exploring different things. At the same time, I saw that there was a business plan competition on darettocompete.com being hosted at NIT Silchar. So I thought that I should definitely apply to it. This will take me a long way in becoming the all-rounder that I want to become. Now, when I started, thinking of applying for the business plan competition, I did not have an idea in mind. So I thought, what is the problem that I am facing? At the exact same time, I was also trying to learn computer programming because I had not done that in class 12th. So I thought that let me try to learn computer programming. So those of you who are computer programmers or who have ever tried to learn computer programming, there is this book on C programming language written by E. Balagurusamy. Now, all respect to the man, he is an amazing book writer and the book was also amazing. But for me as a reader, I was not able to grasp the concepts, not because the book was not good. So I tried reading Yashwant Kanitkar also, all those books, different books they had for teaching you C programming. The problem with me was I did not have enough interest in computer programming. I had thought that my skills at computer repairing and troubleshooting will get me to become a great computer programmer. That was not exactly the case. So I started, thinking that, okay, let me ask other people, my hostel mates, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, why did they do engineering? Why did they take up engineering? The kind of answers I heard, I could understand easily that most of us don't even know what will happen in the second year or later on in engineering. What is the work that we will do? We were there because we wanted to take up a stable, secure, and well-paying job. That was our main concern. Somebody wants to become the first engineer of his or her village. I have hardly heard of anyone who wants to become the first designer or the first hotel manager of his or her village. This is a societal thing, right? So I learned that people in India make career choices due to two things. One, societal stereotypes. Second, the unfulfilled dreams of parents. कि मेरे पिताजी डॉक्टर नहीं बन पाए तो मैं डॉक्टर बन जाता हूँ. मैं उनका सपना पूरा करूँगा. In some cases, this is amazing, like Yuvraj Singh. He fulfilled the dream of Yogaraj Singh, his father. But in most cases, children don't develop an interest in the exact same field that their parents want them to pursue. In many a times, this happens. So I saw that people are not really choosing their career options because they're passionate about it. They like doing the work in that. They're choosing this because of something completely different. So I applied. Now I'll again share my screen. So I applied with an idea which was this. So this is the first executive summary I ever submitted. This was 2013. I was in my first year. Now notice the name, Bharatiya Prashikshan Vidyalaya. This was the first name I had ever imagined. Clearly not a very imaginative brain I have. And I thought that this will be a brick and mortar school where we will teach students how to take the right career choice. So I got selected for the finals. I was very excited about it. Back then, I did not know how technical fests in India work. For your kind information, very few people apply. But I thought, okay, I have maybe gotten selected within like 1,000 people. So I was very happy. Plus, I saw most of my competitors were people who were already pursuing their MBA, and I was just 18 years old. So I was really excited. So I went to the finals, appeared in that, and lost. I did not win the competition. The ideas and the feedback that I got for my business plan was very negative. That, your financial predictions are wrong. Your idea is not that great. This is a very common idea. All this feedback I got. But surprisingly, I did not get demotivated for a change. I got really motivated that, okay, this is something which I can really improve. If my first step took me to the final, maybe next time I can win. So I started thinking how I can make this idea better. Now, at the same time, when I was making iterations in this idea, I also started appearing in a lot more business plan competitions. So the first real iteration I made to this idea was I took it to the web. From a brick and mortar school, I thought that, okay, if I make a web-based solution, that will in real life take me less money to implement. So I did that. And when I first did that, I won the 3rd prize in a TechFest competition. And I was very happy about it. Later on, also, I kept improving the idea. I kept working on the idea, and I would win the 2nd, 3rd prizes, never first, but always the 2nd and 3rd prizes in different business plan competitions. And plus, I got some money for winning the 2nd or 3rd prize. So that was also really motivating. At that time, I was appearing for different business plan competitions because I wanted to see, whether I can get some certificates to apply on my CV, which will get me a great job. That was my thinking. So this is a picture, of me in IIT Guwahati in my 2nd year, winning the 2nd prize in a business plan competition. Yeah, now you can see my face also. Great. At that time also, I was reading a lot of articles on Your Story and, different platforms like Inc42. Then there was a platform called Next Big What. All these platforms are featuring different startup stories, how did people become entrepreneurs from their jobs or from their colleges. Now, what happened here is I really got inspired, from stories of Zostel, Redbus, Flipkart, and whatnot. At that time, all these startups were coming up. So I was also in college at a great time when the startup wave was just starting to come. Plus, while applying in these business plan competitions, I also started reading up a lot of stuff. I downloaded a lot of PDFs. So these were the Lean Analytics, the Lean Startup by Eric Rice, Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman. I downloaded a lot of books. I read them. Plus, I downloaded also a lot of online course videos, which I could do. So I did courses on entrepreneurship and on education on edX and Udemy and Coursera, etc. So this was just something amazing happening with me. For the first time ever in life, I was actually reading up something or learning something because of my own willingness, not because my parents or my teachers were forcing me to. So I thought that, okay, my parents, my teachers, everyone associated to me wants me to do this information technology degree. Why am I learning this stuff? For a normal kid in college, for a normal person, they would, after 8 to 5 classes, which is already very strenuous, they would like to have some snacks, enjoy with their friends, do stuff which I can't mention here because obviously academic institution webinar, but you understand, right? So people like to enjoy basically. But for me, I was coming back and doing online courses. This was something which was even blowing my own mind off, that why am I interested in online courses all of a sudden? So I started to notice that I have a passion for education and entrepreneurship. I really want to change this ecosystem. It's not just about a business plan competition and a certificate. It was much more. By the time my 4th year came, I had decided that, okay, I will not take up a full-time job. I will pursue entrepreneurship full-time after college. But I did not really want to inform my parents about this because at that time I did not feel it was the right battle to pick. So I thought that, okay, let me do one thing. As soon as the placement process starts, I'll take up the first month. In the first month, I'll take up one placement. And then I'll not focus on it at all, not focus on college at all. And I'll just go to the classes, be there, learn enough to pass the exams. And I'll learn my, entrepreneurial stuff, and I'll work on my startup so that I can create a good base for going forward. I did that in the first month. Luckily, I got placed in a company called PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they were offering a decent package. So my parents were very happy. Now, in my mind, I was like, okay, I have to pursue my startup. So I totally started working on my startup and enjoying social life, because in 4th year, all those farewell vibes start coming in. So we were going on a lot of road trips and all that. And I just could not resist, even though I wanted to. From internally, I wanted to. But looking behind, I really enjoyed that time also, so no regrets. So, yeah, this is a photo of me hosting the annual cultural fest of our college, which is called Rebecca. So I really had a good social life also in the 4th year. And after that, I graduated college and took up my startup full time. It was a really difficult decision because at the exact time when you're looking at a decent salary versus something where you have to struggle and make your own mark, it's very difficult to take that decision. But I thought that, okay, I'm 22 years old. I have enough energy in me. Even if I don't do well, what's the maximum that will happen? My salary will maybe get halved. So if I'm getting 50,000 today, I'll get 25,000 tomorrow because of a huge gap. But I will learn a lot. I'll learn a lot about marketing, sales, finance, value creation, value delivery, team building, whatnot. So I thought that, okay, let me do one thing. I'll start up. Within 1 year, if I succeed, great. If I don't succeed, I'll take up a job next year. Thinking of this, my hometown is Delhi, so I shifted to Bangalore with the one thought in mind that I will be able to use the Silicon Valley's ecosystem much better. They say Bangalore is the Silicon Valley of India. So I went there. That's when the real struggle started. Now in college, I had done a few part-time jobs to earn a bit of money, but most of that I had spent. So I have maybe, I had 10,000 left in my bank. And then I took a bit of money from my parents, about 30,000. So roughly I had 30,000 rupees with me. I ran out of that money within the first 3 months. And now I was too, you can say egoistic to ask for any money back from my parents. Even though I do belong to a middle class family, so it's not like, my family did not have any money at all. But yeah, I was still a bit skeptical about asking my parents for money or my elder brother for money, especially when my father initially was not very happy about this decision of mine. So I thought that, okay, let me make my own mark. At that time, I started approaching different schools for free career-based courses, that I would teach their students about entrepreneurship, about automobile technology. But as they say, sales is the best feedback. There I genuinely saw that people are not interested in the career-based courses until they get some career counseling. Teachers told me that, if the students don't know what to take up, how will they take up your courses? So I thought that was a great suggestion. So I added career counseling and mentoring to my offering. So now we had career counseling, then mentoring, and then once they have decided what they want to do, then they will take up the career-based courses. So when I started with this mindset, I started to get a few free sessions in schools. But my money had ended, so I was really struggling. I was eating 1 time a day, which I should not have done looking back, but I was doing that. So I was eating 1 time a day. I was walking a lot because I did not have money to travel also. So sometimes I would wait for and a disclaimer before this, never do this, students, whoever is having a look at this. So sometimes I would wait for the most crowded bus to come, board that, push and shove my way to the back. And whenever the bus conductor would ask me for a bus ticket, I would say pass, as if I have a bus pass. Sometimes they would get fooled. Sometimes they would ask me for showing the pass. Then I would take out my wallet and act as if I don't have the pass or I have lost it somewhere. And then I would give them whatever change I had. Sometimes I would have so less money that I would buy a ticket for the closest place to my destination, get down and take a walk to that place. So those were really struggling times for me. But I really learned a lot about life. at that instant. This is a photo from one of the sessions I was conducting in Bangalore, and you can clearly see I had grown really thin at that time because of lack of proper eating habits. So I got, within the first 3 months, I got one school where I was doing sessions for free. After that, the next 3 months, I got 8 schools where I was doing sessions for free, and I had to travel a lot, walk a lot. It was a very rigorous schedule I had. So this one time what happened is I was trying to pull off the same stunt at night. I was trying to come from a place, but it was too late at night. So I thought that, okay, I will not wait for the crowded bus. I'll climb any bus that comes, and that is going to my destination. This bus came, I boarded it. I saw there is no conductor. So there was only the bus driver who was charging the tickets. So I tried to quickly run to the back, but the bus driver asked me to get a ticket. So I again told him pass. He told me show the pass. I again pulled off my same thing. I started acting as if, oh my God, I have lost the bus pass somewhere. I think I'll buy the ticket. Thankfully, I had enough change, exactly enough change to buy a ticket to my destination. I did that. When the bus started moving, suddenly it stopped in the middle. There were 2 hurried people who just entered into the bus and started checking everyone's tickets. I was very happy that that bus driver forced me to buy a ticket, because that policeman checked my ticket also. I showed him. The seat next to me was vacant, so one of them sat beside me. So I asked them that, let's say if somebody had not bought the ticket, what would you have done? He told me that I would have either charged you 500 rupees or I would have taken you to jail for 1 or 2 days. I was like, oh my God, I did not have any of that. I did not have 500 rupees in any of my bank accounts. Calling my parents to tell them that this had happened, they would be really angry. So I thought that this is something which I should not be back at. This is a situation I have to get out of. I took a few home tuitions and started working even harder on my startup. At that time, there was an event, an event organized by CII on EdTech, which had a fees of around 2,500. But I had just graduated college, so I persuaded and begged and pleaded those people that I've just graduated, so give me a student discount. So they gave me that. I could purchase it literally for, I think, 300, 500 something rupees. And I went to the place. Every speaker was a principal or a person who was very high position at an NGO. So as soon as the person would get down after his or her speech, I would rush to them, tell them about my startup, that good morning, ma'am, my name is Aditya Bose, I'm the founder of Pro Bono, this, that. I would totally kind of pitch my thing very fast, and then would give them my business card, take their business card. So one of the heads of the NGOs who was very interested in my program told me to contact her. I did that after the event, but after that, somehow things did not move along very fast. I used to call their people, but nobody used to pick up. So I thought that maybe they have lost interest. By this time, I was doing sessions in different schools and getting a lot of traction. Somehow word had spread that this guy does great sessions. So I had started receiving some paid offerings as well. That, come to our school, do a session for 5,000, 6,000, etc. I was already earning from home tuitions as well. So financially, now I was starting to earn a bit. Also, at the same time, I received a call from that NGO suddenly out of the blue in December that, there are a few schools in Telangana. Will you work with us? I was very happy. I quoted the lowest price. I did not quote the price. I quoted the cost it will take me to travel. I did not even calculate my own salary in it. That was how desperate I was to get some paid work for Pro Bono. So then the NGO people only called me that, the cost you have told is too low, raise it up a bit, ensure good quality, which I did. So ultimately, I got a contract of 52 schools in Delhi and Haryana. And since it was in Delhi and Haryana and I had very few teammates at that time, so I came back to Delhi, which is my hometown. And yeah, that is in short my story. So I'll just have a look at the time now. So do I have 2 more minutes if I can share some learnings from my journey?
Yes, sir, you can please.
Thank you so much. So within 2 minutes, everyone, I'll just share the learnings of my journey. So yeah. So from my story, I learned 7 things which I will want to share with you. So first is always take up new opportunities which excite you. You never know when will you explore different things and end up discovering your passion. I joined a lot of clubs in college. I think that is where I really got to explore different things and understand where my interest and aptitude lies. These business plan competitions, if I would have never applied to, I think I would have never gotten here. So even that business plan competition, which was very trivial at that point in time, proved out to be a great opportunity to realize my inner passion. So yeah, always take up new opportunities, try out different things, understand where you have the right interest and aptitude. Second, this very few people do, leverage the power of the internet. Those of you who are watching this session, congratulations to all of you. I think you're already doing that. You're trying to learn something new. Netflix is great, YouTube is great. I don't say that don't watch it, but also devote some time to learning. There are so many courses online now you can learn from people in MIT and Harvard without even paying the fee there. How cool is that? Plus in college, mostly you get free Wi-Fi. So please leverage the power of the internet, read as many books, do as many courses you can. Third, if you are a kid like me, I started off at the age of 22. So everyone will give you advice. Some people out of care, some people out of, feeling of superiority. But either ways, listen to everyone with an open mind. Think what is the best for you, and genuinely think. Don't be like, I know the best and that person is not good enough. Think about it with a genuine intent and then take it up. Fourth, don't worry at all about people stealing your idea. If people can steal your idea, they anyways will after you form the startup, because even then you'll have less money and less resources. Today, if I tell you that there's a great search engine idea I have, that you search anything and the right answer to it comes up, which is basically the idea of Google, I'm pretty sure none of you will be able to steal their idea because they have implemented very well. So they say also ideas are a dime a dozen. Mainly what matters is the implementation. Very true. You know my idea now. I provide career guidance. So do 20 other competitors of mine. And in every field, there are 20 competitors you'll have. So don't worry about people stealing your idea. Focus on the implementation. Start prototyping and selling as soon as possible. Please don't think of the idea and keep it in your head. Make a product, make a service out of it, try to sell it. Sales is the best feedback. If you don't sell it, people will give you wrong feedback. The moment you ask them to take money out of their wallet, that's when they tell you the real story. Sixth, when I was struggling in Bangalore, I learned that struggle is a consistent part of everyone's life and it is not exclusive to anyone. So guys, if you're struggling right now, if you are facing tough times, don't worry, there are many people out there facing tough times. It's not just you. So you just have to keep working hard, and struggle will keep coming also. So it's not like, there's no happy ending. Like I told you the story as if there was a happy ending, that I got 52 schools, I went back to home. But even after coming here, it was a journey of ups and downs, and it's still continuing. It will keep happening. You'll be struggling and then you'll be happy. Then you'll again be struggling, then you'll again be happy. So it's a part of life, just accept it and enjoy every moment as much as you can, obviously. And last, if you're making something you truly believe in, then it is your obligation to sell it. So don't underprice yourself. Don't worry too much. Just promote your stuff out there with as much belief as possible. Because if you don't do, and if you're really selling good stuff, then somebody will sell a substandard stuff as compared to you because he or she can market well. Then you are doing the thing wrong. Then you should genuinely consider your morality. So if you're making something which you believe is the best, go all out and sell it with the maximum, marketing potential that you can do. Any questions, you can always find me at adityabose@probono.com. Sometimes I'm also in the Incubation Center at AIC BIMTech, so you can find me there. And yeah, if there's any career guidance or entrepreneurship advice you need, I'll always be available. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me your time, listening to me patiently. I hope you listened and I hope this was a learning experience for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aditya, for sharing such a real life experience. I hope all the candidates must have benefited by these learnings. So here I am Garima Kulshrestha, Assistant Professor and Team Member of IIC IILM. Now I would like to introduce our next session speaker, Mr. Saurabh Gautam. Mr. Saurabh Gautam is an ex-founder of a startup, Envirex at International Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. where he raised seed round and built the startup. He is also a graduate from the Startup School Y Combinator and is working as mentor of change at Atal Innovation Lab Niti Aayog and currently work as business analytic consultant in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He is also the alumnus of BTech Biotechnology batch 2019 9 to 2013. Welcome, Mr. Saurabh.
Uh, Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Garima ma'am. It was a pleasure having introduction from you. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am. Then thank you, Mr. Matthew. It was a very nice session with your three intriguing ideas, and I'm really like the session from Anish, where he mentioned about what to do and real life practical experience. And I really loved the session from Aditya, and it was very phenomenal the way he shared his life journey. Yes, I too agree with him. I also faced certain situations because I also went through that journey. So I'll give you about brief introduction about my startup journey, which ended into a technology transfer. So it's not a full-fledged startup, like it's not continuing, but it ended into technology transfer. But I'll also share about that journey. So I'll tell you, so it was the year was 2013. That was the year I was graduating. By that time also I was doing freelancing jobs. So I had accumulated some amount of money that was around 80,000 bucks during my 2013 when I was passing out of this college. And this college has an amazing experience because yes, during the final year, everyone is looking for internships, projects, and then their new jobs. I too was looking, but I was doing freelancing, so optimizing my time that time. So Facebook, Twitter, Google Ads that time from my home. So I saved a lot of time and also earned money. And yes, after that I went on a e-school idea, which was kind of a failure, but there I learned how to execute things, get partners, get fundings, and how to actually find a real problem and a solution to it. So that was a small project where what I did was that at that time we did not have fast internets in the villages of our country. So what did was we took downloaded the lectures from Delhi, and then we went 150 kilometers there away from Delhi, and in a village we set up a small school where we put in all those lectures from the hard drive, and we used to give them lectures through that. So it was kind of a offline e-MOOC session that was also appreciated by uh, edx.org. You can find that on edx.org, as one of my story has been shared there. So that was a very good experience, and for that I brought in 4 different organizations. So in a way I was pretty lucky. But yes, so Aditya says that sales is the most important thing, so you as a person is the biggest sales biggest product of your company or your startup. So if you can sell yourself, then you can sell anything. That's what I have learned from that. Then after that I was still looking for incubator support because my family was like, go for a job, you have already got placed. Yes, by the way, my college gave me a placement, so I was placed in Genpact. I refused that offer, but yeah, that was a decent package, around 25 or some 25 35 30,000 something they were offering, but I did not join that. But yes, my parents were after that, but I had saved some money from freelancing. Then I also saved some money during this e-school process because I was collaborating with different organizations, so they were getting a lot of publicity, and they got some connections because of that project. So they paid me some nominal amount as a pro bono thing, so I had like saved up like 70 80,000 rupees, and then I moved on to Ahmedabad. So there was a boot camp for 3 months. I attended a boot camp. It was a pretty straightforward journey for me, but in that boot camp, I almost finished up all my money. So I was down to last 5,000 bucks, and I had to then again to go for the freelancing jobs, and slowly and gradually I was able to do consultancy about my idea. So I'll tell you, people say you have to build a product, you have to do this, you have to do that. Yes, I agree. If you build a MVP, it's the best thing. If you can uh, sell your product, it's the best thing you can do to your customer, and you also get a real feedback. So once you take out money from the people's pocket, then you get the real feedback. If you offer anything for free, people will not give you a feedback because when someone pays money, they want certain quality of standard with their products or services, because they're paying their hard-earned money. So it's taking out money from your customer's pocket is really important. So before, so I did not have a product about, so I built a platform for pollution using analytics and a small product with it where I can capture different capture different pollutants in fluids like water or air. Okay, so that was an ionizing filter. So I built that also, but I did not have a product when I raised a seed round, but I had done enough research, and I had also put in got some consultancy assignments which were showing that money can come in. So I did not have a product, and I raised a seed round of around 50,000 USD. Okay, so that was a huge quantum, and that was a big. So in fact, I was the one initially. So when people say that for validating your idea, you should be convinced, but even if you are convinced, but people are not showing you the money, or other people are not investing you, so then your idea is not validated. So when I got the first seed round after a struggle of 7 months, going out to different suppliers around Ahmedabad, outside Ahmedabad, Mumbai, suppliers, talking to a lot of professors, collaborating with research institutes. Then after that, I got this support from them. So that is what motivated me. And then I went on to build a product, applied for patent. It was a normal journey after that. And then, yeah, I got, because after I got a small funding, so I was able to sustain myself. And that was, but the journey was full of up and down. One day you are up, the other day you are almost like thinking about friends. Yeah. So because there's a psychological framework, because there's a societal problem also in India, because entrepreneurship is not taken as a viable career option in those times. Now people have started accepting, as also mentioned by Aditya. So what happens is, when you are going into this journey, it's a very lonely journey, very depressing, very lonely. If people say it is easy and it's a cake, or they're just bluffing. It is actually a lonely journey, because your parents will not support you, your suppliers will not support you, your customers will say it's not good, it's not bad. When you get your employees also, so employees will have 10 different problems every day, and it's not easy job. People management is one of the toughest job which you'll ever have. And last, once you get out of all this, then you don't have profitability in your venture. So then you have tough questions. Your investors will ask tough questions. Your suppliers will also ask, when are you making the payments and all that. So yes, it's a tough journey, uh, but it's a journey which improves you as a person. You learn new things. You get your mindset also gets nourished like that, where you remove the fear of failure from yourself. That you are willing to try new things. So you learn a lot. So this is a self-induced learning. It's not forced by colleges, school, teacher, anyone. You get into the journey, you learn, and you get crazy about learning. And that is what is the epitome of success is. So so now I'll share a small presentation. It's because my session is titled about how to get an idea and how to make a viable business out of it. And I'll also touch upon the basic fundamentals of getting a funding. It's The funding is basically friends, family, fools, and then the rest of the investor. So I'll go through that and I'll share my screen. So this is my presentation. Yeah. So, uh, so converting your idea to startup and funding sources. So, uh, so basically, let's talk about ideas. You love the idea of being your own boss. Yes, I agree. Everyone wants to be a boss, but there comes a lot of responsibilities with it. But how do you get your ideas? There are limitless ways, limitless possibilities to get your ideas. So I'll go through that journey very quickly, and I'll move on to the slides slowly and gradually. Uh, but idea is the first stepping stone and starts with a problem. Okay, so some people find it really tough because they don't know how to go about it. So let's move on to the next. So finding the right ideas. So I'll tell you about how you can do is. So basically, it's generating idea and looking at problems is nurturing your brain and nurturing your mindset. You have to be open, like even Aditya mentioned. You have to be open to everything, every every feedback, every problem you're facing around, or if you see someone in a problem, so you have to have a very, very open mind. So that can at the nascent stage when you're in college, so you can open up by inculcating hobbies. So in colleges in ILM also, when I was there, there were a lot of clubs, or we had this competition like AdMad. Then you had best out of waste competition. I did once win some of these competitions. So that's where you find which is your calling. Then you have sometimes some people have interest. So I had a very keen interest in environmental technology, biotech, and little bit of computer science. So that's what I'm doing right now also. And then some things come out of reading newspapers, because reading newspaper, magazines, and books, these will make you think the best in you as a person. So that will inculcate a mind inside you. So you can look into all these activities and see what you can. So I also had a habit of reading five newspapers in a day while I was in I career, because we had five business newspapers coming. So that gives you a landscape what's happening around the world, because you need to know it. I'm not saying get deep into it, but you need to know what's happening around the world, where you can pitch in your ideas. So suppose, let's take for an example, you have an amazing idea about some technology. Let's say in college you have an idea that I'll make a best sanitizer, and you know there's a company who's facing a lot of problem with sanitizers or dispensing sanitizer at the workplace. So maybe you can pitch that. So that's how you get information. So newspapers, now you have your story or Inc 42, all these websites also can be a very credible source for you. So look, getting ideas can happen anytime, anywhere. People are traveling a bus, and so let's take for an example. There was I'll give you an example. There's a app called Red Bus. How he got an idea? That idea was actually got because he faced a lot of problems buying ticket at the bus station. So he thought, why not have an app where I can book my tickets before? It was a simple idea, and it's a very big business. Red Bus, everyone knows it. One of the famous startup stories of India. Idea can be as simple as that. So these are the basic steps. Some people may have different connotations. I have just tried to like put it into six verticals, and these are basic. People can add some verticals or remove those verticals in this, and they can proceed with it. But it's a brief synopsis. So basically, I went through a process called idea generation process. So that itself is a very scientific and a proper way to do it, because initially, as we are not born entrepreneurs, or a society is not a born society for entrepreneurship, but we need to have to develop that brain or mindset. We have to have an idea generation. So uh, so that can be taken care. Okay, and then if you have like 30-20 ideas, then you have to screen them. And before, so at this, suppose you have 20-30 ideas at idea generation, then you screen them and make it to four or five of them. And then after that, maybe you can maybe after that you can develop your idea. And then after that you can research and do testing and then launching. So developing is basically a new connotation as it's being used for developing an idea is basically building an MVP, that is a minimum viable product, that can be done through softwares, or that can be done through small surveys also, or you just put a screenshot also. It's not necessary you make a complete product. For that, developing MVP, there are lectures on Y Combinator startup school, which I'm also a graduate. That's a very, so I'm just telling everyone so that people at the college level can have a look at it, and it's a wonderful way how they develop the product. Let's take in for an example, there's a very big startup, we know that as Airbnb. So how they started, there was a conference happening, they had a air mattress, and they want to test their ideas. So what they said, they put up a small website in which people can book an air mattress which they were having, and it got sold off. So that's how they validated the idea. Then they went into the designer mode, would build a product, a huge platform and everything. That was as simple as that's how they tested. Same happened with Uber also. There were yellow taxis. So there was this founder called Travis Kalanick. He was a founder of Uber. He started with, he did not have an app which you have right now. He had just simple web interface. Someone asked for book and cab, he will send a cab, and the cab will come, just a form. And that's how we validate an idea. So developing an idea is basically basically creating a product. I also mentioned people sometimes just make packaging out of your whole product. You don't have to have the whole product, but that is where, because there is a saying in Hindi, "Jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai." So if the customer is not able to see, visualize, or feel it, so they don't know what the product is. So that is one part that's called visual communication. So if you build something which people can see or feel, that is where you are making some progress. So I also come from that point of view, because I did raise a seed round without a product, but what I have done was I had given checks of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, like that, as a consultancy, okay, which I was getting for that product or services. So they thought there's a lot of value in it, and it was. So yes, so that is how. And other point, the last point is very basic, that obtaining a patent, design right, or a trademark. This is very crucial these days. If it is a software product, that's okay. But if you're making a hardware, because I come from a little hardware background, so this is very important. And getting a patent or a design or a trademark does not cost you much. It's like 7,000, 8,000. You go for movies like 710 times in a year. You pay out like 700 bucks every time. For that, you can get a trademark, and something around that 10, 15,000 uh, design, right, or 30,000 maximum patent if you write, do the maximum most of the thing together. So if you have that, that's a credible source that you can show it to your investors or your other people also. And then you can also develop a prototype after that, because that validates your idea. So next is research. So research, I told you, there are websites, there are user research. Best research is trying to make a sale. Something, even if you don't have a product, go to the market, try to at least sell the associated services like I did. If you can do that, that nothing good better than that validation. Because if you're able to sell an associated service with your product or something like that, that means you're validating or moving towards your idea, and that person will give you more, because he has paid the money. He'll give you a better feedback, so then you can incorporate in your minimum viable product and then move on. And then you have testing can be done by uh, uh, going to focus group, giving out free samples, free testing, or maybe some nominal amount, like beta users. So there's a concept called beta tester. So some people are beta tester for WhatsApp, Instagram. It's very easy. Go to a Play Store. I'm also a beta tester for many of the apps, so you can go to their apps. So that is how people do it. So this is how you can develop your idea. And then launching your idea, so you can support appropriate marketing app. You can launch ads, you can go to seminars, you can go to colleges, schools, anywhere, whatever there's some free marketing that is called word of mouth. So if I go to the launching an idea, that's a whole new ball game. So it takes hours to go through it. So you make strategy. The best form, I'll tell you, is word of mouth. So suppose you used an app, you tell your friend, you refer your friends. That's the best. That's what I feel it's the best. Now finding the right business idea. So right business idea comes, you have to know yourself more as compared to the idea, because you are the person who's going to define that idea. So if you like, let's suppose I really like cooking, so why not? So some people who likes cooking, who likes ingredients and all that. So maybe if he goes for an idea which is in which he's bringing all the bakers or baking ingredients on one platform as an aggregator, he will enjoy that product, he will enjoy that service. Because when he's enjoying it and building it, that's nothing can beat him, because he will be the best in that, because he's enjoying it. So that is what I want to say, that if you can match your passion with the right product or right idea, that nothing can beat that. uh, you can go through these checklists. This is important, but at the back of the head, when you are trying it, when you have a conviction about your idea, these are the questions, these are the tough questions you have to ask. Okay, so you have to ask before uh, getting down into that venture, because these will keep your feet on the ground, because there is a thing called staying at the ground but looking at the north star. So when north star is your final goal or the dream of your startup that I raised this round and I'll have these many customers, but you have to be grounded enough so that you do not fall down. And you do fall down, but these will keep you grounded. So next I'll go to this I find very interesting, the mysterious art of idea generation. So observation, this will I'll go in detail. Observation, and because you have to be observant everywhere. You're going for a party, you're traveling, so you find a problem with. So if you notice that there was a video, right, that there was a child who was not getting milk, so you can have a dry milk pouches, small pouches across India, so that everyone can have milk. Then your own work experience, hobbies, interests comes. Those are the foremost. And meeting a need. So meeting a need is like connecting a real problem with your solution. Need is right now you see during the COVID time, there's a need for sanitizers, and if you can make a sanitizer, it's very easy. You're meeting a need. That's just an example. Zoom, which we are using right now, is a is meeting a need. So there's a problem. There's a need for virtual connect or platforms where we can have video conferencing, etc. More than anything due to COVID, and it is meeting a need. So you can find the idea according to that. Technology is at the last, because you cannot you do not go by finding a technology then building a solution. Like I like cryptocurrency, AI or machine learning, deep learning, and then I build a solution around. It does not work. Like you have to find a problem and an idea and then work towards your technology. So that's how it happens. So it's a very nice kickback, allow your imagination, free rein, and go idea hunting. So you have to imagine yourself that you're free. You can pursue any of your idea which you want, and you can enjoy that. Let me see my time. I think still there. So I'll talk to you about this one more slide. So this quote is very important. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So you have to plan. It's not necessary that you will plan, make a plan A, B, C, D, but most of the time things don't happen according to the plan. But if you don't make a plan, you are destined to fail, because you have to plan that every 3 months, like I have to have a investment, or have to do a new version of my product, prototyping. And I think all the entrepreneurs on the call will also agree to that. You have to plan, but sometimes you have to pivot from the plan. Pivoting is doing minor changes, but your whole benchmark or your path is at least well defined, and you have well thought of it, so that if anything changes, you are ready to make the changes. Okay. So you have to think from three perspectives. What is that you are offering in the plan? What will you need to do it, and how you can go about it? And best thing is, people say you have to write it. Think, keep it in mind. If you, until and unless you write it down, does not make sense. You have to write it somewhere, whether it is a notebook, keep, or paper, anywhere, or a sticky note. You have to write it down. This is the most important. So when you have a goal for your business, you have to have smart goals. Smart goals. So you just remember this. Smart means specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for relevant, and T for time based. So when you have a goal, you have to put a number or a time to it. So be specific. Example, I want to build a platform. Okay. And by this time I will have 100 users, and should be attainable. You cannot say that I can I'll have to have a platform, I'll have 100 users, and it will be equivalent to Google search engine. It cannot be possible. It should be attainable, a small part of it, and it should be relevant in current scenario. And you have to have a deadline. I have to finish it within 3 months, 2 months, whatever is the deadline. Generally the basic MVP is 2 months. So this is important, and dream big in order to come up with possible ways of solving a particular problem. So problem is the key, then the idea is the next second key, and third is the MVP. These are the three things which you need to focus on, and turning your ideas into reality. So getting the right balance between two aspects is a real challenge, but you can learn a lot about it, and this can be mastered. So it's nothing like that. This skill cannot be mastered, and that's it. There is a small quote about Disney. You can have it, and it's ability to connect his innovative creativity with successful business strategy. So basically, you have to have a lot of imagination and connect it with business strategy, and that's where you have your business. So very nice clipping. I do believe in it, so I put it there. So this is the last part. And how do you evaluate your business idea? Will it make money? As people have said previously also, if you are able to make a sell, if you're profitable, that validates your idea. You don't need anything else after that. If your people are willing to pay money for your even an MVP, so that's where you validate your idea. And then you have to just grow. And financial ratios, and these are accounting terms, but you need to learn about it. How many jobs are creating in current scenario in India? We need to have a lot of job creators, not so that people get employed. India needs that. And the market share, so it can start from a small city and then grow up to a whole nation, to the whole world. Now Facebook has a lot of billion of people on Facebook, and this is the most important criteria. Customers should be very satisfied. And that's all from my side. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, you can contact me anytime. Yeah. And it was, I really liked the session, uh, and I feel very honored to be part of this, because I'm also an alumni of IILM, and it has given me immense opportunities, because they had a lot of, we had free time between the lectures. So, and we had a lot of labs, and so we used to explore different things there, especially fermentation technology, and sometimes we used to play around with new techniques in labs, so which help us in giving an initiation of how to build these things. And we had a lot of experiment. That's the key. That's how I love. That's where I found uh, my uh, um, my capability to build new things. So it was really amazing.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you for sharing your journey, and thank you for sharing such an informative talk with all of us. I'm Dr. Roma Chandra, and a member of Team IIC. I would like to introduce you all to our next speaker, that is Mr. Akash Singh. Mr. Akash Singh is the founder and CEO of Energy Innovation. He's recently selected one of the team entrepreneurs from India for first global edition of Ashoka Young Changemaker. He has also been awarded by Prime Minister's Office, Chief Minister of Haryana. He had received Young Entrepreneur Award, Udyam Veer Award by MSME, and appreciated by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Recently, he was represented India in Social Enterprise World Forum held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in October 2019. He has featured in the 20 list of Open Magazine and received the lit of Waste to Wow by the New Indian Express. He is a well-known TEDx speaker and featured in a documentary, Ashes to Idols. So I welcome you, Akash. You can start your session. Over to you, Akash.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me. It's really an honor. So अभी हम start करेंगे जो आज का मेरा topic है आत्मनिर्भर भारत. I am audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, you're audible.
So पहले मैं अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बताता हूँ. My name is Akash Singh. I'm just 20 years old. I'm running a company which name is Energy Innovations. So like what Energy Innovations is doing. So we are collecting the waste from temples that is harmful for environment, that is harmful for water bodies. And by collecting that waste, we are making eco-friendly product like the statues, like the sculptures. By the help of jail prisoners, हम लोग मंदिरों से कचरा उठाते हैं और उस कचरे को वेस्ट टू वाव में चेंज करते हैं जेल के कैदियों द्वारा. So इसमें so right now we are covering 154 temples around Delhi NCR. वहां से हम लोग by the help of local authorities कचरा उठाते हैं. जेल इनमेट्स को हम लोग जेल के अंदर ट्रेन करते हैं कि कैसे उस कचरे से आपको प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट करना है, और वो लोग उस कचरे से प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट करते हैं और फिर हम उसको अलग अलग मार्केट्स में बेचते हैं. अभी मुझको करंटली 2 साल का एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का एक्सपीरियंस है और मैंने काफी कुछ सीखा इस 2 साल में. मैंने 10th के बाद 11वीं 12वीं 11th 12th ना करके डिप्लोमा इन इंजीनियरिंग किया और उसके बाद तुरंत ये ज्वाइन किया अपना कंपनी एनर्जी इनोवेशंस. कॉलेज खत्म करने के बाद मेरा मौका था जापान जाके एक इंटरनेशनल कंपनी में काम करने का काफी अच्छे से एक अच्छे पैकेज पे मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मैं अपने यहीं पर रह के कुछ करूंगा। अब बात करते हैं आत्मनिर्भर भारत के बारे में। तो आपसे कुछ टाइम पहले हमारे श्री प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने स्लोगन दिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत। आत्मनिर्भर भारत क्या चीज है? हमको सारे प्रोडक्ट इंडिया के अंदर ही बनाने हैं या फिर एक्सपोर्ट भी करना है या इंपोर्ट खत्म करना। सो मेरी कंपनी जो है एनर्जी इनोवेशंस, उसका भी मिशन यही है और हम सबका मिशन यही है कि हम अपनी कंट्री को आत्मनिर्भर बनाएं, हमारे प्रोडक्ट खुद से डेवलप हों। उसके लिए हमें MSMEs खड़ी करनी होगी, स्टार्टअप सिस्टम, इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट करना होगा, वो सब। तो ये सब लिटरली इतना आसान नहीं है। तो आत्मनिर्भर भारत के को कहीं ना कहीं प्रमोट करने के लिए हमने अभी एक अपने इनिशिएटिव के बारे में बताऊंगा। एक इनिशिएटिव स्टार्ट किया जिसका नाम है उद्यमी उत्सव। सो अब से 1.5 महीने पहले हमारी टीम ने इसके बारे में सोचा था। इसका आइडिया कहाँ से आया? तो लगभग अब से लगभग अब से 1.5 महीने पहले सॉरी, लगभग अब से 3 साल पहले, एक सेकंड। हाँ, तो लगभग अब से 3 साल पहले मैंने अपने गांव के एक लोकल फेस्टिवल में स्टार्टिंग करी थी, एक फेस्टिवल की जिसका नाम है खोज कुंभ। तो खोज कुंभ में बेसिकली क्या होता है, वहाँ की जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं उनका सॉल्यूशन वहाँ के लोकल बच्चे देते हैं। तो वहाँ पे एक मेला लगता है लॉर्ड कृष्णा के भाई लॉर्ड कृष्णा के भाई बलराम का, और उस मेले में वहाँ के काफी सारे लोकल लोग आते हैं। तो जब वो लोकल लोग आते हैं, वहाँ पे कुश्ती होती है, कबड्डी होती है, रागनी होती है, ये सब चीजें होती हैं। तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने वहाँ पे एक साइंस एग्जीबिशन की स्टार्टिंग करी, जहाँ पे साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड लोग अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स लगाते हैं और वहाँ की लोकल प्रॉब्लम्स का सॉल्यूशन देते हैं। तो वहाँ पे होता क्या है, अभी आज के टाइम पे उसे चलते चलते 3 से 4 साल हो चुके हैं। काफी सारे इनोवेटर्स, काफी सारे यंग बर्डिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स वहाँ पे आते हैं, बोलते हैं हमारे एरिया में ये प्रॉब्लम है, उसको ऐसे ऐसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। तो हमने उसमें पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप की स्टार्टिंग करी। वहाँ की कुछ लोकल कंपनियां आती हैं, जेवर के आसपास की और नोएडा, ग्रेटर नोएडा के आसपास की, और दूसरी तरफ क्या होता है, वो जो इनोवेटर्स होते हैं वो सारी चीजें लेके आते हैं और लाइक वो इनोवेटर सॉल्यूशन देते हैं और वहाँ की सारी कंपनियां उन सॉल्यूशंस को प्रमोट करती है। तो ऐसे करके खोज कुंभ की स्टार्टिंग हुई। अभी खोज कुंभ से इंस्पायर होकर हम लोगों ने लॉकडाउन के अंदर क्या किया, तो एनर्जी इनोवेशंस के सारे प्रोडक्ट बिकने बंद हो गए, क्योंकि हमारा सारा का सारा काम है हार्डवेयर से रिलेटेड। हम लोग वेस्ट कलेक्ट करते हैं, स्टैचूज बनाते हैं, और वेस्ट कहाँ से कलेक्ट करेंगे जब लॉकडाउन हो गया, हम मंदिरों में जा नहीं सकते। तो अभी जो मुझसे लास्ट स्पीकर थे, उन्होंने कुछ बातें बहुत अच्छी बोली जो मुझे पर्सनली काफी टची लगी। जैसे उन्होंने बोला कि हम लोगों को एम्पैथी प्रैक्टिस करने की जरूरत है। उसके अलावा उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि एक एंटरप्रेन्योर कैसे बन सकते हैं, और अपॉर्चुनिटी के बारे में भी बोला। तो लाइक हमारा टोटली रेवेन्यू वगैरह सब चीजें रुक चुकी थी, क्योंकि कोई रेवेन्यू नहीं आ रहा था और हमको लगभग 22 लोग की सैलरी पे करनी पड़ती है। तो हम लोगों ने उस टाइम क्या, किस चीज की स्टार्टिंग, उन्होंने वीडियो कॉलिंग के बारे में भी बात करी थी। तो हम लोगों ने क्या किया, हम लोगों ने एक वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर काम स्टार्ट करना स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो हम लोगों ने अभी एक एप्लीकेशन बनाया है जिसका नाम है मिलते हैं, और वो इंडिया का पहला ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग एप्लीकेशन और मैसेजिंग एप्लीकेशन है। तो उस एप्लीकेशन में बेसिकली क्या होता है, 300 लोग एक साथ ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। अभी उसका टेक्निकल पार्ट कंप्लीट होने वाला है, उसका बीटा वर्जन के ट्रायल चल रहे हैं और उसको हम बहुत जल्दी लॉन्च करने वाले हैं। तो इसको बोलते हैं एक पैंडेमिक को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी में चेंज करना। तो अभी उसका बस थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल काम बचा है, वो खत्म होने वाला है। दूसरा, हम लोगों ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत की तरफ क्या स्टेप किया, अब से 1.5 महीने पहले हमको एक कॉन्सेप्ट आया उद्यमी उत्सव का, खोज कुंभ से इंस्पायर होकर। तो अभी मैं इस टाइम उड़ीसा में बैठा हुआ हूँ और लिटरली अभी मेरे कॉन्फ्रेंसेस सामने ही चल रहे हैं। तो मैं थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब्ड हूँ इस टाइम, काफी सारे कॉन्फ्रेंसेस एक साथ चल रहे हैं। एक सेकेंड, हाँ, तो काफी सारी चीजें एक साथ चल रही हैं। तो अभी इसके बाद में मेरा ओयो के जो वाओमो के जो फाउंडर हैं उनके साथ भी कॉन्फ्रेंस है। तो हम लोगों ने क्या किया, मैं और मेरे कुछ टीममेट्स ने मिलके स्टार्टिंग करी उद्यमी उत्सव की। सो उद्यमी उत्सव क्या चीज है, उद्यमी उत्सव एक पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप का नेटवर्क है। तो वहां पे काफी सारे कंपनीज ने मिलके उद्यमी उत्सव के ऊपर वो लोग फंड कर रहे हैं। दूसरा, वो लोग पार्टनर क्रेडिट्स दे रहे हैं। जैसे हमारे पास 40+ इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स हैं, 50+ पार्टनर्स हैं, प्रोबानो जो यहाँ पे आए हैं वो हमारे करियर काउंसलिंग पार्टनर हैं। तो ऐसे करके दूसरा हमने लोगों से बोला कि आप यहाँ पे आइए, अपना आइडिया पिच करिए। तो हमारे पास लास्ट के 1 महीने में 2500 से ऊपर आइडिया पिचिंग की एप्लीकेशंस आई हैं। पहली चीज कि वो काफी सारे इंस्पायरिंग लोगों से आके सुनेंगे, जैसे सोनम वांगचुक जी भी हमारे गेस्ट हैं, काफी सारे लोग ऐसे हैं, तो उनसे सुनेंगे, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में सीखेंगे, आत्मनिर्भर भारत के बारे में। दूसरा अपना आइडिया पिच करेंगे। तो जब वो लोग अपना आइडिया पिच करेंगे तो उनको आइडिया के हिसाब से उनको जो भी हमारे पार्टनर्स हैं वो सपोर्ट करेंगे। जैसे कल ही क्या हुआ, कल ज्ञान सृष्टि ये डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस की बॉडी है, इन्होंने लगभग 40 लोगों को डायरेक्टली सपोर्ट किया जिनके आइडियाज अच्छे थे। तो इस सेशन को जो भी लोग देख रहे हैं वो उद्यमी उत्सव की वेबसाइट पे जाके या उद्यमी उत्सव के फेसबुक पेज पे जाके रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं, अपने आइडिया सबमिट कर सकते हैं, तो वहां से काफी सारा प्रॉफिट आपको मिल सकता है। तो आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाना आज के टाइम में लिटरली हमारी बहुत ज्यादा नीड है। जैसे सोनम वांगचुक जी ने बोला, हम चाइना जैसी बड़ी कंट्री को वेपन से नहीं हरा सकते, हमको खुद पावरफुल बनना होगा, हमको खुद पॉकेट से उनको हराना होगा। पॉकेट से उनको हराने के लिए हम लोगों को एंटरप्रेन्योर्स माइंडसेट चाहिए, एक इनोवेटर वाला माइंडसेट चाहिए। तो 3 किस्म के लोग होते हैं, जो पहले के कुछ भी सोचते ही नहीं है, दूसरे जो इनके आइडियाज होते हैं, तीसरे इंप्लीमेंट कर देते हैं। और एक आइडिया सोचना, इंप्लीमेंट करना और उसको मार्केट में चेंज करना बहुत ज्यादा अंतर है। तो इंडिया में काफी सारे इनोवेटर्स हैं हमारे बीच, पर इनोवेटर्स का एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में चेंज होना एक आसान प्रोसेस नहीं। दूसरा, हमारे यहाँ पे 90% स्टार्टअप्स फेल क्यों होते हैं, क्योंकि जैसे लास्ट स्पीकर ने बताया कि वो प्रॉब्लम के साथ एम्पैथाइज नहीं कर पाते। एम्पैथाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है। जो हम आइडिया के ऊपर जो हम सोच रहे हैं वो हमारा बच्चे की तरह होता है, हम उस आइडिया को बेस्ट समझते हैं, पर उस आइडिया को बेस्ट समझ के उसकी खराबियां देखते ही नहीं। तो हमको अपने आइडिया को ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहिए, ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों का फीडबैक लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि जितना ज्यादा हम लोगों का फीडबैक लेंगे, जितना ज्यादा बताएंगे, उतना ज्यादा हमारा आइडिया इंप्रूव होगा। हाँ जी मैम। मैम क्या कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं मेरे लिए?
The questions will be asked in the end. Please continue.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। तो यही मेरी जर्नी थी कि एनर्जी इनोवेशंस की स्टार्टिंग करी। इसकी स्टार्टिंग करने से पहले क्लास 10th में मैंने स्कूल छोड़ दिया था, और 10th के बाद में विंड हार्नेसिंग मशीन बनाई, स्मार्ट इरिगेशन स्प्रिंकलर मशीन बनाई। पर कहीं ना कहीं मेरे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का जो एक्सपीरियंस था वो बहुत अच्छा रहा। मैंने काफी सारे अप्स देखे, काफी सारे डाउन्स देखे, तो बहुत सारी चीजें चेंज हुई। एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप काफी ज्यादा फैसिनेटिंग है, पर आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि एक एंटरप्रेन्योर एक सिंगल आदमी नहीं बन सकता, उसके लिए आपको टीम चाहिए, और बिना टीम के आप अब आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। जैसे रतन टाटा ने बोला है कि अगर आपको जल्दी जाना है तो अकेले जाइए, पर अगर आपको लंबा जाना है तो टीम के साथ जाइए। तो आपको टीम होना बहुत जरूरी है। 4 रूल्स होते हैं बेसिकली। पहला, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट। किसी भी एंटरप्रेन्योर को सबसे पहले कोई प्रॉब्लम आनी चाहिए, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट होना चाहिए। दूसरा, सॉल्यूशन। तीसरा, आइडिया वैलिडेशन। और चौथा, उसको मार्केट में इंप्लीमेंट करना। हाँ जी। या मैम, नाउ यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन।
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Akash, for sharing your reflective insights with our audience. I'm sure they must have gained an idea on how to build Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now we are open for question answers round. My first question, which we have received from our partner, is to Mr. Matthew. The first question is, does machine learning cater to privacy issues?
सो मैम, मैं पूरा का पूरा हार्डवेयर प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह में रहा हूँ कभी।
Okay, so let me answer that. Akash, the question is to me. So machine learning, does it take care of the privacy issue? So privacy issue, definitely yes. And again, the privacy will depend, the privacy requirements and the legal requirements will depend on the industry where you are implementing the solution. Say, for example, if you are building machine learning solution for the banking, all the banking data privacy, data security requirements will need to be taken care. Right. So, for example, we are doing the banking solution for this multinational bank. We take up all the legal requirement, which is so this is a bank in the South Asia. So it's like Reserve Bank of India. They have a federal bank, a central bank, which is formulating the data security, data privacy issues. So we cannot transfer the data from that country to India. So we connect remotely on the big data platform in that country over MPLS line, and then we work there. So, and it is again the data cannot be downloaded to us. We can download that, and all the personally identifiable information, that's called PII information, will be encrypted, which means any privacy data which you can track using that data, if you can track that customer. So those kind of privacy information like your email ID, your name, your phone number, your address, all those things will be encrypted. So that is for the banking. So if you are doing the machine learning solution for healthcare, will be
Okay, sir. Thank you for answering the question. Now we have another question to Matthew, sir, again. It is asking that, sir, isn't the arrival of AI, robots, and automation can increase the number of jobless people, and people mostly prefer equality in man-made work of art?
Yeah, so the question is, will artificial intelligence take away jobs? So the answer is yes and no. So if you look the typist jobs gone away, all the peon job went away. So earlier, all the Sarkari government officers used to have a peon, carrying file from one table to another table. Now it is all gone, right? But there are a lot of other jobs came in with computers. So all the software IT jobs, millions of jobs. Repetitive jobs will go away, but there will be many new jobs, technology jobs which will come in, advanced jobs which will come in. So as the youngsters, what you need to do is you need to upskill, you need to learn the new technology, and then update yourself and skilled in those new areas, and you can get jobs in that technology area. So some of the old jobs may go, but there will be many other jobs coming in. Yeah. Next question, please.
Yes, sure. Thank you, sir. Now, our next question is, by applying AI in agriculture, which you have emphasized on the action of middlemen, by solving one problem, it will create another issue of unemployment to middlemen.
Yeah, so this is one example. If you look at 100 years back in India, India had a lot of kings and queens, right? A lot of small countries were there. India was as a country we had so many kings were there at that time. there were people carrying these kings and queens in a chariot. So when the car came, car came, all these people lost job. Same way when the computer came, many people lost the job. So when you make online mart, an online shop for the digital, many middlemen will go, but that is all unnecessary. And in fact, so they need to find new jobs. But the fact is that the farmers are getting new profit for their produce. So the farmers will get better price. So that's more important, right? So the farmers now, if you, as a consumer, you are paying 50 rupees for onion per kg, the farmer is getting only 2 rupees, which is really bad, which is injustice, right? With an online portal where you can buy and sell, the farmer can sell directly to the end user, end consumer. The farmer can probably get 35 rupees per kilo. And you take another 5 rupees or 10 rupees for transportation, and you can, the consumer also will benefit 5 rupees there. So that's a fair deal. So middlemen, definitely they will lose the job, but they need to switch to some other job. Yeah, next question.
Very well said, sir. Now, there was another question, but I think it is very similar to the data privacy. So we are skipping that. The other question, which is that AI agriculture field is a good concept, but how a middle class family in rural area will be able to implement for his work?
Yeah, so this particular startup, which I said, they are providing service support to all the farmers. So the farmer need not build this kind of application. So you can take the service from this service provider, and they will give you the recommendation on a service base. So it's kind of a SaaS model where, if I am a farmer, I can subscribe to this startup company, this agri-tech company, and for a nominal service charge, they will give all the recommendations and all the support and all the guidance for my farm. So that's the model. So the farmers need not build any technical solutions. So the service provider will provide the technical solutions. The farmers just need to subscribe with a nominal charge and get all the services and advices and all the predictions. So that's the business model.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another one is, if you had one piece of advice to someone just starting out, what would it be? It's the final one for you.
Yeah, so build something. So for the startup, I would say you should have a business, commercially viable business idea. So it can be two things. It can be solving a business existing problem, or it is creating a new market segment, right? Something which is innovation. So all the innovation need not be problem solving. So some of them can be, say, the Apple products. If you look at the Apple products, many of them are not really solving problem. It is enhancing the customer experience and creating a segment on its own, right? So you need to have a commercially viable business problem. I mean, a business idea, and find a revenue model, and then you go and build it. And as technologies from the artificial intelligence domain, I would say, irrespective of which industry, which domain you are starting in a startup or a business, use technology, artificial intelligence, and take the help of, it's a tool, it's a great enabler. Use that technology to build solutions, and you can build artificial intelligence enabled solutions which you can grow exponentially, and you can give personalized services, personalized products to the market, which no one else is doing that. So use the technology. AI is going to stay, so use it and venture out. That's the advice.
Thank you, sir, for answering all the queries. Now, our next question is lined up for Mr. Anish Rathi. The question is, can you suggest some business which can be opened up during this COVID period?
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Asta, for asking that question. Yeah, so there are many businesses that many opportunities that you can, pursue during these times. But one thing you need to make sure is that this is not going to stay forever, right? So don't think of business as something that you make for COVID, and after 1.5 years, there is no plan for that, right? So basically, right now, what you can do is vaccine is one great business that biotech. Somebody interested in biotech can start. So something that Bill Gates is working on really hard. So one thing that they're working on is a single vaccine for all the diseases. So that is a really amazing idea. So something like that, maybe you can work on. You can work on medical equipments. You can work on distance consulting for medical firms. So in villages, we don't have too many doctors, right? In villages, and the real Bharat that people keep talking about, the 70% of our population resides in villages, and we don't have access to good doctors and good nursing facilities over there. So distance consulting is one thing that is coming really good. And then online education, now since the schools and colleges are closed and everything is going online, so online education is something that you can pursue. And these are the things that are going to stay after COVID. So always remember that you can use COVID as an opportunity, but don't use it as a don't think of it as a time frame that I need to build for just for COVID, because COVID will go away. That it might take some time, but it will definitely go away. I can assure you that. Okay, so make sure that this does not affect your business, because then people will ask you questions which you won't be able to answer. What will you do after COVID? So suppose if you make a COVID vaccine, that is a very good thing right now. But after that is a big business idea also. But something like if I tell you travel business or something like that, if you open online, you say that I'm going to do virtual tours for people and something like that. But once COVID goes away, travel industry will open once again. So that is one thing that keep in mind. Don't focus only on this time. Make sure that you guys build for the longer time, right? I think that answers your question, Dr. Asta, and I think we should proceed to the next question now.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for answering that query. Now we have another question, which is, how can one check whether the idea will be profitable or not?
Yes, so that's an amazing question. And I would like to go back to what Saurabh said, make people pay for it. And that is when you actually check whether it is worth it or not. You have to make people pay for it. If people are not ready to pay for it, then it becomes very difficult for you to get the money back. And plus there is no point in doing a business that is not profitable, right? So how do you do that is, first of all, you find out who are the people who need this product, right? You find out first 10 or 20 people, and then go to them with your idea and tell them that, if I provide you such and such solution, what would you be willing to pay for it? And for how long will you use the product? What will make you use the product? Because cost of acquisition also matters here. Okay, cost of acquisition of a customer, it should be as low as possible, right? So make sure that you go to your customers, talk to them, get a feedback, get something out in the market, get an MVP done or something. Get like Saurabh said, right? Airbnb, they didn't have a fully formed product, and Uber didn't have a fully formed product. So it is not, and Saurabh himself didn't have a fully formed product, right? So make sure that you do the research on paper, write it down. As I told you before, write it down, because numbers don't lie. So you can lie to yourself that you will love your idea. You will love your idea like a child. You will not think that, it is a bad idea even once. But make sure that you work out the numbers very well. Find out how many users are there in India. So suppose you're going for edtech industry or online education. So right now you can take the complete online, complete education. The number of students in education industry is 450 million. So suppose if you are making a product that will earn 10 rupees, that will cost every student 10 rupees, and it's giving them a really good service, multiply into that, and that is how you get the number. So it was a very vague description about how you do it, but that is how you actually go with it. Like, find out online reports, find out online researches, and find out how many users are there, what is your market size and all that. And decide a price for your product, and then multiply that with your the number of users you are targeting, right? Yeah, so I think that answers the Dr. Asta. So we should proceed to the next one, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were certain questions which were related to like giving some supporting examples of different firms. So I think that you have covered in right now in this question. So we will move ahead with the next question.
If possible, I would like to add to that also.
Okay,
I have given you, I gave you the examples of firms that did not have a product, but yet were able to raise funding. That was Airbnb, Uber, and Saurabh himself. He probably can give shine little more light on this, and he would be the right person to go for it. But let me give you examples of few companies that have gone to become billion-dollar companies without raising a single penny. So Zoho, as I told you, was the startup. It's an Indian startup and it's a billion-dollar startup. It's the most profitable Indian SaaS startup, software as a solution startup. And then there are companies like Google and Facebook, which raised funding only only during their initial days. Less than 100 million they have raised till date, and they are trillion-dollar companies. So always remember, it is not necessary to raise funding. Okay, so objective when you start a startup, objective is not to fundraise. Objective is to build a company. Always remember that, right? So I think that will be that was my add-on to it. Now we can proceed to the next question, Dr. Astha.
Okay, thank you for answering that. So now let's go with how can we enhance the entrepreneur intention of final year students?
Yeah, perfect. So this was a question I was actually looking forward to. Amazing question. Who has asked this? Whoever has asked this, it's a great question. So when you want to build an entrepreneurial mindset, right? So first thing is start small. You don't have to go big. You don't have to make big profits. You don't have to build a website. Don't do anything. All of those sorts. So the qualities that I told you, communication, public speaking, try those out in your schools or colleges. Try to speak in your schools and colleges fests or something like that. So Aditya actually was coordinating his college fest, as I saw. So, and you can see Aditya did not, in our current panel itself, we have two great examples, Saurabh and Aditya. They have been able to, I think they have been able to achieve what almost 80% of entrepreneurs don't, right? Most of the startups, so 80% of the startups fail because they don't plan, they don't start small. They just go big. They want to, from the first day, they want to be a billion-dollar startup. That is not how it works. First, you have to build an entrepreneurial mindset inside you, and then you have to prepare yourself for the coming challenges, because as you all know, it's a very, very challenging job, And the best thing is, while you are doing all this, keep working on your idea. It's not important, again I'm repeating, it's not important to have a product. And okay, so let me add this also. If you don't have a product, then how do you go ahead and convince people that this is something worth investing in? So what you do is you present a unique insight, you present a unique research. So the current example, let me take panelist Mr. Saurabh's name here. He told us that he did not have a product, but he had research. He had a unique research point that he showed that nobody is doing this, and this is what I did, and I was able to make this much profit even without completely implementing the idea. And this is what I have researched, and this is what the market is currently. So invest in me and I'll give you back the returns. That is how you go ahead without a product, because you need to have research, you need to have unique insights. And okay, so, and one of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneur does, almost every entrepreneur does, is that we tend to forget ourselves when we start the company. Okay, we are so much into work that we tend to forget our health. Okay, so make sure that your health is never impacted, because that is your one and only weapon. Now imagine yourself lying in a bed and having fever and then trying to work something out, and then imagine yourself not having that fever and trying to work something out. So of course it will be the output will be much more in the second scenario, because you are fit and fine, right? No matter how much you try, if you're not fit, then you will not be able to give your 100%. Giving your 100% starts with your health. So first your health needs to be 100%, then you have to go ahead and give 100% in other things. Okay, so be curious always. Second thing is be curious, keep asking questions. Why is this so? Why is that so? Why is it not that way? Why is it not this way? Because keeping when you keep asking questions, right, it will not just give you the answers, but it will also give you the way people think, the way world moves. Because today, if you wake up and say I'm going to change the world, it will not happen, right? Because world has a culture, world has a way of thinking, and that's how human race has moved forward for so many years, and you cannot change it in just one day. So you can maybe change it in 10 years, 20 years, but for that you need to have a plan again. So always have an entrepreneurial mindset, ask questions, plan things out, go and start doing public speaking on a small scale, or even in your class. Even if in your class you want to say something, just ask your teacher, I want to say something, and just go ahead and talk about it. Even if you are able to convince people, good enough. If not, then you need to work on your public speaking skills, or you can say communication skills. And basically, okay, yeah, that's, I think that answers the, okay, yeah, one more thing. Always remember, connect to your learning communities. Okay, so whatever you're learning, there will be people who have similar interests around you. Okay, so connect to them for sure. That is one thing that you need. That is what will get you updated on what is going on around you. And this is what even Saurabh said, that always be updated about what is going on around you. So if you know what is going on in the world that you're going to work in or you're going to step in, you can make solutions, you can optimize your solutions in those for those people, or you can, optimize your pitch for those people. So make sure that you do that. And that I guess would be all. Make sure that keep a track of your health. That is the most important one. So yes, Dr. Asta, I think we can move forward.
Okay, thank you. Now this is the final question right now for the moment. Now we are heading over the question to Mr. Aditya. The question is, how do you find the perfect team that is compatible with your idea of future?
Okay, that is a pretty difficult one, I think. And how do you find a team? So basically, try to reach out to as many people as possible and try to pitch your idea to as many people as possible. I think that is why I said that don't be afraid that people will steal your idea or people will, implement what you are trying to implement. You have to share your idea at some point in time. Why not do it right now? Obviously, you are thinking for the long term. You are thinking a lot about the idea while you're sleeping, while you're waking hours. So you're truly passionate about that idea. That passion can't be stolen. So please share your idea at different places. There are websites like meetup.com, MEET, like meetup.com. Then there are websites like angel.co. There are different Facebook groups of startup cohorts in different cities. Pitch your idea. So I also posted in many different groups that I'm a 22-year-old guy who was just graduated out of college, and this is what I really want to do in the future. Why don't you join me? And it's a journey. So sometimes people won't be compatible with you. They'll leave within 2-3 months, but that is the best chance you've got. Pitch it to your friends. Some of your friends might be very interested and they might have a complementary skill set as compared with yours. So you will together make more than the sum of both of you. So yeah, share it with your friends, share it on platforms like angel.co. There are different amazing Facebook groups. There's a group called Push Start, like, dhakka maro wala push and start, as in start, right? Begin karo. So there are different groups like Push Start, Network Capital, different startup groups like Bangalore Start. Share your idea there and try to talk to as many people as possible. See how much compatible is the person with you. And always try to get people with complementary skill set. कि अगर आपको टेक आता है तो सारी टेक वाली टीम मत बनाओ, किसी को बनाओ, अपने साथ ऐसी टीममेट को लाओ जो मे बी सेल्स या मार्केटिंग में अच्छे हैं, जो प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत अच्छे से देते हैं, somebody who can handle operations very well. So different functions के बारे में सोचो. ऐसा मत सोचो कि सिर्फ मेरे ही टाइप का स्किल सेट मुझे चाहिए. Rather it should be complementary. And also a good team challenges you. So don't take too many yes men कि हाँ जो आपकी हर बात पे खाली हाँ हाँ बोले, वो शायद से आपकी कंपनी को आगे बढ़ने से रोक देंगे, बिकॉज वो आपको ऐसा फील कराएंगे कि आपका हर डिसीजन सही है. So try to get people who can question you, not disrespect you, but question you, right? People whom you can question with a complementary skill set, and these kind of people you can get at many places, but there's no short formula of getting the right people. So try and talk to as many people as possible. See, if you want to see one thing, see आपका और उनका विजन कितना मिलता है फ्यूचर का. जैसे कि आई वांट टू हेल्प ईच एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट इन इंडिया एक्सप्लोर एंड डिस्कवर देयर पैशन. जिसको मैं अपनी टीम में लेना चाहता हूँ, क्या वो भी यही चाहता है अपनी लाइफ से? ये जो करियर में वो अपना स्टेप लेना चाह रहे हैं, does this match with their ultimate goal in life? These are a few things that you can see. This ensures long-term involvement.
Thank you for answering that question very wonderfully. Now we have another question, which is like, can you say some more information about Pro Bono?
Oh yeah, I would love to. I love to market my own startup. So we provide career guidance to high school students, college students, and ITI students across India. We have a website called probono.com. You can find us on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. We have a logo with 3 steps in a blue background. So you'll find it very easily. So our aim is basically to help students understand any learner, whichever college, ITI or school he or she is in. Firstly, how to make the right career choice. What should I know about myself to make the right career choice? What are the different career options available? Because mostly people don't know. They will choose among only the 4 and 5 career options available to them. So I want people to at least see the menu card before ordering. आप पहले किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो तो माइंड मेकअप थोड़ी ना करके जाते हो कि आज तो मटर पनीर ही खाएंगे. सामने वाला बोला सर ये तो इटालियन रेस्टोरेंट है, यहाँ पे मटर पनीर मिलता ही नहीं मटर पनीर ही खाना. So you don't do that, right? So similarly, it's always good to know the different career options and then make the career choice. We tell them about those career options available. Then once they map their own selves to the right career option, then we help them plan their career path ahead, because सिर्फ सोचने से कुछ नहीं होता, आगे उस प्लान को करना पड़ता है और implement करना पड़ता है. Then we introduce students to mentors. So let's say somebody wants to become a journalist, I would introduce him or her to a journalist so that they can get to know realities of the field. We also have different career-based courses on engineering, different forms of engineering. We have courses on journalism, law, entrepreneurship, etc. And we have also recently introduced soft skill enhancement and exposure to different opportunities in the form of scholarships, in the form of degrees that you can do, places you can apply to Olympiads, etc. So our effort is to get you as close to implementing your career plan, which is something which you have made yourself rather than being pressurized by the society to make, and how you can implement that as fast as possible. We also work a lot with rural areas. We work with Army Goodwill schools, Zilla Parishad high schools, government senior secondary schools, and different NGOs, where we help students understand, how they can also dream big. मेरे से कई सारे लोग पूछते हैं कि आप इन्हें बताते क्यों ये सब MBBS और बैचलर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग और BP Ed और ये सारी different बैचलर डिग्रीज क्यों बताते हो आप इनको? Why do you tell them about a BA in journalism? Do you think they can do it? Do you think they have the money to do it? So my only answer is कि मैं इनको डिप्लोमा के बारे में भी बताऊंगा, मैं इनको ITI के बारे में भी बताऊंगा, मैं इनको बैचलर के बारे में भी बताऊंगा. They should know everything. हमें उन्हें सपने देखने से नहीं रोकना चाहिए, किसी को भी नहीं रोकना चाहिए इनफैक्ट, कि अगर वो एक सर्कमस्टांस में है, वो उसकी गलती नहीं है, वो वहां पे पैदा हुआ है, लेकिन उससे निकलने का उसे पूरा मौका मिलना चाहिए. So this is our thinking. That's why we tell every student about every opportunity available. अगर कोई बच्चा है जो उतना रिसोर्सेज नहीं रखता लेकिन MBBS करना चाहता है, हम उसे स्कॉलरशिप को भी एक्सपोज करते हैं, सो दैट कल को वो खुद एक मेरिट बेस्ड स्कॉलरशिप कमा के आगे बढ़ सके, अपनी खुद की पढ़ाई पूरी कर सके. हम उसे पार्ट टाइम जॉब्स के बारे में बताते हैं. So yeah, this is in a nutshell about Pro Bono. You can reach out to us online. We try to do it in a mix of online and in person, so that there's this blended form of learning where you can interact with people and can also learn at your own pace. You get the best of both worlds. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is what Pro Bono is.
Okay, so thank you for sharing your wonderful insights. Now my final question, because we are running out of time and we have only one more question we can take. So it is to Mr. Saurabh. Can you tell your action plan for turning dream of being an entrepreneur into reality?
It's a very tough question. It's a very nice question, and it's very tough also, because there's no magic pill to it. There are ups and downs. Sometimes you fail in your first venture, you make a blockbuster second one venture, or maybe it can be a 20th or 30th mini venture. So there's no magic pill to it, but yes, there are two things I want to specify in this. Even if your venture fails, uh, so that your venture fails, but as a person you don't fail. You grow up like 100 times more than a normal job.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, your video is not visible.
can you see now? I just rejoined again. Hello? Can you see my video now?
It is visible now, Saurabh. You can go ahead with answering.
Yeah, so I was saying there are two things. There's no magic pill for having built a successful startup or not, but there are two things. You, in both of the ways, you are successful. The first thing is when your venture fails, but as an entrepreneur, you don't fail. You grow up like 1,000 times, uh, even with your failed startup, because you have learned the skills of having the guts to follow your dreams, learning on the way, and trying to deliver something and solve some other person's problem, and you become humble after that. So as an entrepreneur, you never fail. You never fail. I come from that school of thought. The second thing is, if you're talking about monetary terms, so then it may or may not be necessary you make uh, become rich or you make a lot of money in the first venture, maybe second, third. So let's take it for an example. There was a company called Angry Birds. So they built so many games, but only one game which got successful was Angry Birds. Before that, they had built 25 new games. So you never have a magic pill to it, but yes, but you have to be persistent. So the persistent is the key. So if you fail it, pivot it, change it, again fail it, raise money, then build it, rebuild till you succeed. So it's like that. And in your journey, you may have up and down, but it's a journey. So overall, you should enjoy your journey. You may fail, again you restart, you join with others. So that's how you build. So overall, if you take the net sum, it's always a success. Uh, that's all I have to say about this question. Yeah.
Okay. Thank, thank you, sir, for your wonderful experiences which you have shared. I'm sure that participants would have gained. Now, the remaining questions, because we have run out of time, so the remaining questions can be mailed to us on the ID from which the event information was obtained. Now, I would like Dr. Bindu Agarwal to deliver the closing remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Astha. So it is really my pleasure and privilege to conclude the national webinar or on Hangout with Entrepreneurs. So it was really very insightful and enriching discussion we had with our young entrepreneurs. Mr. Ani, I would like to thank each one of you, the guest speakers of ILM, on the behalf of the whole ILM team and ILM Center for Entrepreneurship, Development and Innovation, Mr. Anish Rathi, Mr. Aditya Bose, Mr. Saurabh Gautam, and Mr. Matthew Joseph. You all take your time out and delivered and shared your thoughts and your experience. So when I see the entrepreneurs talking on such a platform, it gives me really a wonderful and pleasant kind of feeling, because this is the time when India is ready for the next revolution in terms of the economic and in terms of technological revolution. And entrepreneurs like you are the real engine for this future journey. So I hope the participants definitely have gained great insight and knowledge about their own future entrepreneurial journey. And that was wonderful that we were getting so much queries and questions from our students and the participants. This shows that lot many people are really looking forward for their entrepreneurial startups journeys. And I would like to thank all the organizing team, Dr. Jyotsna Singh, who provide this platform to all of us to interact with people, and all the Pallavi Singh, Dr. Astha Singh, Astha Sharma, and all the team members have put in their great efforts. And this is really a wonderful experience for us to conclude this national webinar on the entrepreneurship. Thank you all the team, all the organizers, each one of you, the participants, and all the guest members. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So this wraps up our afternoon. On behalf of IILM Engineering, thank you all for making time in your busy schedule. It's been a pleasure to host this event, and I wish you all a pleasant day. Bye-bye. Thank you.